Chapter 1062, Where's Xian Yuan? I used all my strength to kill 70 people, but Xiu Yu Xian and Lin Feng are there together, so they must have killed 110 people. I don't know who helped whom, thought Lin Ruotian. In the past, he would have thought that Xiu Yu Xian would have helped Lin Feng, but then he had seen how strong Lin Feng was. He didn't dare underestimate him even though he had only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer. With the strength of the 4th Tian Qi layer, he had managed to climb up all the groups of steps. He had also easily defeated Yang Zilan at the same cultivation level. Lin Ruotian sat down. You're monstrously strong, Lin Feng. Where are you from? Asked Lin Ruotian as if he was trying to befriend Lin Feng. I come from a country very, very far from Ba Huang province. I can't compete with you, Brother Ruotian, said Lin Feng, smiling calmly. Very far, whispered Lin Ruotian. He smiled and said, Yang Zilan and his sister despised you, but they're really ridiculous. They think they're superior because of their social status, but in fact, they can't compete with you in the slightest. Lin Feng smiled. He didn't know why Lin Ruotian was saying those things. Coming from a rich and prestigious family is a good thing though, said Lin Feng calmly. So what? You ranked first, and on top of that, Miss Chiu likes you. You became an imperial cultivation disciple, so now, if you have another social status, you will be able to ask for her hand officially. Another social status, whispered Lin Feng. He looked at Lin Ruotian and said, I became an imperial cultivation disciple. That's a social status. What's the other social status I could get? If you want, brother, you could become a member of the Lin clan. We have the same name after all. You could ask for her hand using that social status too. Lin Ruotian thought that because Lin Feng came from a very far country, he had come alone. There were many people like Lin Feng in Ba Huang province, so people needed a powerful background in walk around the Ba Huang province. Otherwise, other people could bully them. He was offering protection for Lin Feng. Lin Feng laughed, having now understood. Lin Ruotian wanted Lin Feng to become a member of the Lin clan. He wanted to help Lin Feng to become his brother. The Lin clan would also protect him. Apart from their blood, he would be an authentic member of the clan. Thank you, brother, but I prefer relying on myself, said Lin Feng, smiling. Lin Ruotian looked disappointed and said, You are an ambitious person. Even if we don't become real brothers, I'm happy to be your friend. I'm happy too, said Lin Feng. Lin Ruotian was nice. He was strong too and came from a rich family. Lin Feng was happy to make new friends anyways. Lin Ruotian smiled and nodded. He didn't say anything more. Sign it, said Ho Qing Lin, giving a medal to Lin Ruotian. Lin Ruotian carved his name in the medal. The fourth one arrived soon after. Lin Feng didn't recognize that person, but Lin Ruotian did. That was a disciple from a rich family from the south of Ba Huang. People continued arriving while Lin Feng and Xiu Yu Xian were calmly sitting on the edge of Tiantai. They didn't mind other people's ranking. It had nothing to do with them. However, Lin Feng was wondering if Xian Yuan would even make it back. The sadhu was quietly observing there too. They were happy because if they had come back, it meant they were imperial cultivation disciples and they would all become brothers and sisters. In the future, they would have higher social statuses within their own clan. The world of prestigious and rich families was complex and their members all wanted to be the best. 1 month passed and in Tiantai, 78 people had made it out. Only 3 spots were left. The crowd was excited. Many people had passed the exam on the flight of stairs, so 81 people shouldn't be a problem. Has anyone seen Xian Yuan? Asked someone at that moment. They realized that Xian Yuan wasn't amongst the 78 people. Oh right, where is he? Said someone else. Where was he? He had always said he'd rank first. I saw him in the Huangxi underground. Someone was chasing him. I don't know where he is now though, said someone else. The crowd was surprised. What? Someone was chasing him? Are you sure? Right, Xian Yuan is very strong. Who was chasing him? Many people started talking about him. I saw him with my own eyes. He was furious. He was bleeding and his hair was messy. Someone very strong was chasing him and laughing and talking about a great ape emperor. He was scaring Xian Yuan with his voice alone, said that person. Everybody was surprised. What a tragedy for Xian Yuan. Someone was scaring Xian Yuan with just his voice. The great ape emperor. 3 more people can qualify. If Xian Yuan isn't part of them, then he will have to try again, whispered someone. The crowd remained silent. You're wrong. Only 1 more person is left, said Lin Ruotian. 1 person? You forgot someone, said Lin Ruotian. Forgot someone? The crowd was wondering what he meant. They then thought about someone who had defeated Xian Yuan at the same cultivation level. Where's Lin Feng? There, with Qiu Yuxian, said Lin Ruotian, pointing at them. They narrowed their eyes and, indeed, Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian were at the edge of Tiantai. There were already 80 of them. Chapter 1063, Graduation Ceremony. 1 more person, whispered the crowd. They all looked excited, they wanted to see who would come out last. Bzzz, someone came out and it wasn't Xian Yuan. The 81st wasn't Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan wasn't going to become an imperial cultivation disciple. The crowd was astonished. He had always said he'd rank first and in the end, he wasn't going to become an imperial cultivation disciple. Ho Qinglin appeared again with a medal and said, "Congratulations, you're the last one, so you're qualified. Sign your name." Phew, that person breathed deeply with relief and smiled. He was worried, but he had managed to become an imperial cultivation disciple. What a relief. He was excited, but everyone else was astonished. Ho Qinglin gave him the last medal. It meant that Xian Yuan wasn't going to become an imperial cultivation disciple. Alright, the exam is finished. We need to wait for the Zun cultivators to finish their exam. They need 100 days in total, so 40 to 50 more days. You can practice in Tiantai. Wait until the end and the second batch will also be determined, said Ho Qinglin, smiling. The Tian level cultivators were done. They were so happy and proud to become imperial cultivation disciples. The 2 emperors were rising too and would soon be like the other emperors in Ba Huang province. Everybody nodded. Those who had managed to climb up the first group of steps during the first part of the exam would be part of the second batch. Everybody knew that already. The crowd dispersed. They had a strange feeling, but a good one. Every palace was extraordinary. What a great opportunity this would be. They had all earned their place, so Ho Qinglin was proud. They had all fought hard. Lin Feng was still sitting on the edge of Tiantai. It was as if the rest of the world had nothing to do with him. He couldn't waste his time. Lin Feng needed to become stronger. He had only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer. Being an imperial cultivation disciple wasn't the most important thing anymore. All of them wanted to become stronger. It was sunny in Tiantai and the air was fresh. It was pleasant afternoon. Lin Feng was sitting cross-legged and lights were flowing around him. He was bathing in extraordinary flames which looked like many small suns. It was as if he was the sun. 7 stars appeared. The sadhu opened his eyes and looked at Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Sun skill. Lin Feng surprisingly had good skills. He was convinced Lin Feng would quickly become strong. His pure qi was good and he could swallow the power of the sun. As Lin Feng became stronger, his pure sun qi became even more distinct. At that moment, golden flames appeared. They didn't look real though. Is that an illusion created by his godly awareness? The sadhu was surprised at that moment. There were pieces of godly awareness in those flames. It looks like the eternal awareness skill, the sadhu was surprised. Lin Feng's skill looked like a skill Mu Chen used. He could open the earth and sky using it and everything would turn to dust in its path. It could even break people's godly awareness. At that moment, it looked like Lin Feng was practicing such a skill. It was far from being as complete and powerful as when Mu Chen's, but it already had a form. If the sadhu was right, it meant that Lin Feng could use a broken soul technique to break his soul into several pieces. Lin Feng had seen Mu Chen's skill which made everything reduced back to dust in Tianlong's territory, so he felt motivated. What a great feeling, thought Lin Feng. In the past, he used to study the force of the earth and the sky, now he could sense it perfectly. He could have his godly awareness fused together with the earth and sky even. No wonder Mu Chen's skill was so powerful. Lin Feng really wanted to do the same. He was pleasantly surprised because he had something to study that he liked. He was still too weak though, he still needed time. Little boy, I can't wait to see you become stronger, thought the sadhu smiling. Lin Feng was young, but he had great natural abilities. He would become a beast in the future. Time passed and the time came for the crowd to gather and receive their certificates. From that day on, they would be Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu imperial cultivation disciples. At that moment, there were also many people at the foot of Tiantai. Many people in the crowd had participated to the exam but had failed. Now they still wanted to see the ones who had passed the exam. Who were they and what was their rank? At that moment, energies rolled in the air like clouds and steps appeared, one after the other. Those golden stairs were incredible. A flight of stairs. The time has come. Many people were excited. Finally, the new imperial cultivation disciples would receive their certificates. It was the graduation ceremony. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi were there too. They had been eliminated by Lin Feng. Back then, they had had the opportunity to become imperial cultivation disciples of the second batch, but they had given up and left. They thought being imperial cultivation disciples from the second batch was too shameful. Besides, Xian Yuan had probably ranked first and he would marry Yang Ziyi, so that would be enough of an honor. Chapter 1064, Xian Yuan's Tragedy. The Yang clan, the Qiu clan, the Lin clan, the Meng clan, and many other powerful and influential groups were there. Many of their disciples had participated and they were all excited to see how well they had performed. There were lights everywhere. Tiantai wouldn't be closed and isolated anymore. It would become a new and genuine group of influence in Ba Huang province. People didn't know how long Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu had been emperors, but it had been at most 100 years. Everybody believed they were relatively new emperors, otherwise they would have had imperial cultivation disciples much earlier. Besides, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu were very secretive. Very few people had seen them personally. People generally only knew that there was a place called Tiantai in Tianjing city and that 2 emperors lived there, but the place used to be closed. Now, it was the graduation ceremony of their new imperial cultivation disciples. Would they show up in person? They are new emperors. They are even stronger than Emperor Tianlong, who has been an emperor for a long time now. I wonder if we will see them today, thought some people raising their heads. At that moment, a silhouette appeared on the flight of stairs. It was starting, finally. Are those the imperial cultivation disciples from the first batch, thought the crowd. They were inspecting those people. There was no oppressive strength on the flight of stairs anymore, but they all had lowered their heads, they looked strange. The crowd frowned. That can't. They couldn't be the winners. Those people are probably those who failed the exam, thought the crowd. The group of people walked down the stairs and joined the crowd. Those were the people who had been eliminated. How humiliating. They could only lower their heads and look elsewhere, shamefully. Those people were those who had been eliminated, indeed. Look at those behind them, they must be the real winners, thought the crowd when they saw another group of people appear. There were hundreds of people. They had an imposing appearance and they looked like heroes. However, in that group, there were also some people who were lowering their heads. They are too high, I can't see them clearly, thought the crowd. The flight of stairs was too high. They couldn't see clearly. They could only see silhouettes. They couldn't wait. Very quickly, a cloud appeared, those people jumped onto that cloud and they appeared in front of the crowd. Where's Ruo Tian, thought the members of the Lin clan. There's something wrong, there are Zun cultivators and Tian level cultivators in that group, they shouldn't be mixed like that, many people didn't understand. At that moment, in the air, the sadhu appeared on a cloud and flew in front of the crowd. He said, smiling, from today, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu have 360 imperial cultivation disciples, congratulations. The sadhu waved and 360 certificates appeared. He said, sign your certificates. They all had the same certificate. There was something wrong, thought some people. Hey, where is Xian Yuan? I remember he was the first one to pass the first exam, thought some people. 360 people signed their certificates. How glorious! They were new imperial cultivation disciples. After signing their certificates, they separated into two groups. Left and right. Then, those two groups separated again into groups of 81 people. Lin Ruo Tian. Meng Ba, he's the one who managed to climb 5 groups of steps, like Xian Yuan. Look, Lin Feng and Qiu Yu Xian are together, the crowd was observing those people. They remembered Lin Feng who had managed to climb the entire 9 groups of steps. 81 people, where are Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi? Right, and what about Xian Yuan? I see. There are 162 authentic imperial cultivation disciples, divided into Tian level and Zun level ones. The others are part of the second batch. They were probably chosen from the ones who had managed to climb up the first group of steps. Many people understood at that moment. But Yang Zilan and Xian Yuan weren't there. Many people couldn't figure out what had happened. The 162 people of the first batch looked delighted. They were all smiling in a resplendent way. Yu Xian is there, as expected, thought one middle-aged man smiling. Qiu Hao was next to him. She is still with that boy. She even attacked her family because of him. That boy will be a tragedy for us, said Qiu Hao coldly. He wasn't happy for her. She had attacked her family because of Lin Feng and now, Lin Feng was still alive. He was furious when Lin Feng managed to climb up the 9 groups of steps. That boy isn't that bad, otherwise he wouldn't be with Yu Xian in the first batch of imperial cultivation disciples, said the middle-aged man indifferently to Qiu Hao. Humph, not all imperial cultivation disciples are that strong, said Qiu Hao coldly. Shut up. Yu Xian became an imperial cultivation disciple, this a good day, shouted 2 old men next to them. Congratulations to all the new imperial cultivation disciples of the first batch. Get ready to sign your certificates, said the sadhu smiling. He shook his hand and 81 certificates with the names of the winners appeared. Lin Ruo Tian, Qiu Yu Xian, Meng Ba, Lin Feng. However, Yang Zilan had been eliminated. What about Xian Yuan? The crowd was surprised. They were now sure that Xian Yuan's name wasn't there. The Yang clan was astonished and staring at the list. Yang Zilan and his sister had been eliminated, of course they were wearing cloaks with hoods so they wouldn't be seen. They felt too ashamed. They had waited because they wanted to see Xian Yuan, but now, they couldn't see his name on the list. Lin Feng, shouted a voice in the distance. You'll die, Lin Feng, shouted that person furiously. His qi was powerful. Chapter 1065, chased by Yuan Fei. At that moment, Xian Yuan looked furious. He had always dreamt of ranking first, but Yuan Fei had been chasing him the whole time. He had gone insane and had tried to fight against Yuan Fei, but Yuan Fei had punched him and injured him. He needed 30 days to recover, using medicine, on top of that. Recovering in the underground wasn't easy. Injured people there were easy prey. He had almost died a few times. He later insulted Yuan Fei, but he had hurt him and punched him again. In the end, he hadn't been able to fight at all. Again, he had had to hide and recover. He had almost died a few times again, attacked by other people. Xian Yuan had undergone so many humiliations and hardships. That time he needed 40 to 50 days to recover. In the end, just to get out, he looked for all the people who had attacked him while he was injured and killed them all. After reaching his quota, he came back to Tiantai. But the graduation ceremony had just started. Xian Yuan was infuriated and wanted to kill Lin Feng. What happened to him? And what did Lin Feng do to him? Everybody was surprised. Had Xian Yuan been eliminated? Boom boom. Xian Yuan released a terrifying qi. Huh, Xian Yuan, little boy, I've been waiting for you. Why didn't you come out before this? I had promised my brother Lin Feng I would come to see him here. You certainly made us wait, said an extremely loud voice behind Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan trembled after hearing that voice. He turned deathly pale. He didn't look furious anymore, he appeared sick on the contrary. Lin Feng was surprised. Yuan Fei really came. He hadn't thought Yuan Fei would actually come to Tiantai. How had Yuan Fei used the altar of Tiantai as well? Had the protector let him pass? Yuan Fei appeared in the sky. He looked strong and he possessed an explosive power. He was still holding his black wooden stick. When Xian Yuan saw Yuan Fei behind him, he looked terrified, scared to death actually. Xian Yuan could only grind his teeth. Xian Yuan seems to hate him too, thought the crowd. Who was that guy with his black wooden stick? Why did he hate him? Had he been eliminated because of him? Many people had never seen Yuan Fei so they didn't recognize him. Some people from rich and powerful families saw him and thought about someone they had heard about. Everybody was scared of that person because he had destroyed a powerful clan in one night. You're a bad boy when I'm not around. Do I need to punish you and hit you with my stick again? Said Yuan Fei in a despising way. Xian Yuan grinded his teeth. How had Yuan Fei managed to use their altar? The crowd was surprised to see how Xian Yuan became docile in front of Yuan Fei. Had Xian Yuan been eliminated? What happened? He looked like a mess. And who was that guy with a wooden stick who scared him so badly? Many people were surprised, but after all, it had nothing to do with them. The Yang clan looked furious though. They had been waiting for the day when Xian Yuan would rank first, he would be their glory. However, he didn't look glorious at all at that moment. He looked like a disgraceful mess. He looked like trash. Be a good boy, or I'll kill you with my stick, shouted Yuan Fei. Xian Yuan said nothing, but felt like he was going to explode or go insane. He didn't leave, he just glanced at Yuan Fei and Lin Feng coldly now and then. He couldn't kill Yuan Fei, but he would definitely kill Lin Feng. He knew that Lin Feng had told Yuan Fei to chase him, otherwise, why would he? He didn't care about him. So if Xian Yuan didn't rank first, who did? Lin Ruotian? Or Meng Ba? Or Qiu Uxian, thought the crowd. Xian Yuan had failed because of that guy who looked like an ape, that much was obvious now. Many people looked at the Yang clan. That ape-looking guy also said he came to see his brother. Who is it? My little Buddhist friend, why are you looking at me? Don't you recognize me, said Yuan Fei to the sadhu smiling. He's so easygoing, thought the sadhu smiling. He seemingly knew Yuan Fei quite well. Qiu Uxian and Lin Feng were surprised. Did Yuan Fei know the sadhu? Did he come here because he knows him? thought Lin Feng. Alright, don't disturb us, it's the graduation ceremony, said the sadhu laughing. Hee, of course, said Yuan Fei smiling fatuously. I want to see my brother's graduation ceremony too. The sadhu was surprised. He knew Yuan Fei, he was the great ape emperor's grandson, but who was he talking about? A golden list was floating in the sky and the sadhu said, the 81 people, come here. People will see the ranking list too. A golden light appeared and surrounded all the selected candidates. Numbers appeared slowly. Roa Tian, third, the Lin clan was satisfied with Lin Roa Tian's result. Good, Uxin ranked second, thought the Chiu clan. They were satisfied too. Too bad she fell in love with a piece of trash, said Chiu Hao mockingly. However, at that moment, he found Lin Feng's name in the list, first. His mouth was twitching. Chapter 1066, A Friend from an Island, first. Lin Feng had ranked first. What was the meaning of that? He was a piece of trash. Chiu Hao was dumbstruck as well as many other people. Lin Feng, that young man, the one who has been humiliated by the Yang clan and climbed up the 9 groups of steps. Surprisingly, he ranked first. No wonder Chiu Uxin was furious when people bullied him. Many people were expressing their opinions about Lin Feng having ranked first. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi saw that and were furious as well. They could barely breathe from their anger. Who is he? Asked an old man to Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. They both clenched their teeth. Grandpa, that's Lin Feng, the one who saved Ziyi and whom Zilan wanted to kill. The one who killed Chou Jun Luo too, said a young man at that moment. Lin Feng, what a pity. He could have been our friend, but in the end, he became our enemy, said someone else. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi looked even angrier. Shut up, shouted the old man. Lin Feng had ranked first, that was a humiliation for Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. They had thought Xian Yuan would rank first, but he didn't, then they became Lin Feng's enemy and he ranked first. Grandpa, he's strong, he even defeated Xian Yuan at the same cultivation level. He also attacked me and I lost because he attacked me. Said Yang Zilan to the old man. That's enough, said the old man. He clearly understood. Lin Feng had defeated Xian Yuan at the same cultivation level and had become the Yang clan's enemy. They had to kill him at all costs. Yang Zilan, many people looked at them. Xian Yuan had said he'd rank first and marry Yang Ziyi. However, Lin Feng had been humiliated by the Yang clan and things had changed. Lin Feng ranked first. Yang Zilan's cheeks were burning. Everybody was looking at him mockingly now. He used to insult Lin Feng and say he was a nobody, an insect. Now Lin Feng looked down on him. How uncomfortable. Grandpa, let's leave, said Yang Zilan at that moment. What? Stop being a coward, said the old man coldly. Let's see how your big brother, Yang Zhan, ranked amongst Zun-level cultivators. His grandfather's favorite grandson was Yang Zhan. Yang Zhan was the strongest cultivator of the same generation. At that moment, Lin Feng could see that many people were looking at him. He looked calm and serene. He didn't act proud at all. He still had a long ways to go, this was just the beginning. He needed to explore the real world. Congratulations again. Go back to your seats now, said the sadhu to the crowd. It was the Zun cultivators' turn. They looked proud, strong, glorious, dignified. The Zun cultivators' goal was to become emperors. They were more dignified than Tian-level cultivators. The first Zun cultivator had grey clothes. He seemed to be 30 to 40 years old and his chi was quite ordinary. He didn't belong to any rich family and nobody knew him. Surprisingly, the first cultivator amongst Zun cultivators is not from a rich and powerful family, thought the crowd. First, Lin Feng amongst Tian-level cultivators, and now this person. If he hadn't climbed up the 9 groups of steps, nobody would have recognized Lin Feng. The first Zun cultivator must be extremely strong, thought the crowd. Lin Feng was surprised when he saw him though. It's him. Lin Feng was astonished. He had seen that guy before. On the island in the middle of the Huang Sea, he had seen a sword cultivators who practiced cultivation. That person understood desolate qi and abstruse desolate qi. What a coincidence, thought Lin Feng smiling. Back then on the island, they hadn't talked at all, a Tian-level cultivator and a Zun-level cultivator, practicing cultivation on the same remote island, nobody else would believe it. What a coincidence in such a big world. Yang Zhan ranked 3rd. The Yang clan was happy about that. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi felt ashamed. No need to mention Yang Ziyi and Xian Yuan's wedding, what a joke. At least, Yang Zhan repaired the damage a little. The second was a member of the Meng clan. At least, the crowd still thought that being from a rich and powerful family helped, apart from Lin Feng the first Zun cultivator, the second and third, amongst both Tian-level and Zun cultivators, were from rich and powerful families. The Zun cultivators moved back to their seats. Then, Mu Chen, Ho Qinglin and some strangers came to the front. 8 people and their qi was extraordinary. The sadhu joined them too. 9 people. 9 people, according to legends, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu have 9 direct disciples. Are they these people, thought the crowd. They had to be. At that moment, they looked solemn and respectful. They were calmly standing in the sky. With the 18,000 dazzling steps, the atmosphere was mystical. Are the emperors going to come out, thought the crowd. Their hearts started racing. 360 people, 81 members in the first batch, 9 direct disciples, they all looked serious and respectful. Were the emperors going to show up? Chapter 1067, 8 Dragon Chants. The stairs were dazzling. The emperors are probably going to show up. It's their event after all, thought the crowd. Their hearts were racing, their eyes were twinkling. At that moment, an illusion appeared. Illusions, the emperors. Even if they show up as illusions, it's still incredible, thought the crowd. Emperors were emperors. People admired them. An old man appeared and he was smiling. He looked like an ordinary old man, but his qi was incredible. He had a gray beard. There's only one person, is that Emperor Shi or Emperor Yu, wondered the crowd. Congratulations and welcome. All the emperor's direct disciples were bowing. It proved it was the emperor. The imperial cultivation disciples bowed too. Thank you, teacher. Hello, emperor. At that moment, many people bowed. Thank you for your kindness, everyone, said the emperor in a gentle way. The emperor was nice to them, what a great feeling. Everybody remained silent. It was as if the world around them didn't exist anymore, only the emperor did. Emperor Shi and I organized this event, it is an honor for us to have found such incredible disciples. Emperor Shi couldn't make it, so I represent the both of us. From now on, Tiantai will be open and everyone is welcome, said Emperor Yu calmly. The crowd finally knew who it was. He seemed sympathetic and easygoing. That's Emperor Yu, whispered people. People like Yang Zilan or Xian Yuan always acted proud and arrogant, and the emperor was so simple. No wonder Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin were so outstanding. Congratulations Emperor Yu for having found these disciples. Please accept this black gold jewel as a gift, said an old man of the Yang clan at that moment. He rose up in the air and bowed. Black gold, that's such an expensive and precious gift, the crowd was astonished. It was so hard that only extremely strong cultivators could break black gold and make jewels out of it. They're smart. In the eyes of an emperor, it's not that great of a gift, but it still shows they respect him, thought many people. The Yang clan was trying to make friends with the emperor. Thank you, give it to the first disciple of the Tian Qi layer, maybe he will need it in the future, said Emperor Yu smiling in a gentle way. To Lin Feng. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi looked astonished. They didn't even have such precious treasures, were they going to give it to Lin Feng? Lin Feng kept taking things from them. Of course, master, said the old man respectfully. He wasn't willing to, but nobody noticed his feelings. He looked at Lin Feng and said, little friend, congratulations, that black gold is for you. Lin Feng took it, but said nothing at first. It looked like a black meteorite. It was very hard. Thank you, mister, said Lin Feng smiling. The feeling was thrilling. He probably didn't want to give it to him at all. The Yang clan is going through hard times, thought the crowd. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi were probably furious. The Lin clan also has a gift for you, said the leader of the Lin clan, rising up in the air. The Chiu clan too. The Meng clan too. All the biggest families offered the emperor a gift. Even though they hadn't prepared anything, they didn't lack precious items, so they had to act the same as the Yang clan. The emperor didn't really care though. Thank you, everyone, said Emperor Yu. The sadhu walked forwards and took the items. Slash. Qi rolled in the air in the distance as a boat was coming. There were people in the boat who bowed in front of Emperor Yu. The island of the 9 dragons came to congratulate the emperor too. The island of the 9 dragons are here too. The crowd was incredulous. Even though they were pirates, they were very strong. Many people respected them out of fear. Say thank you to your leader, said Emperor Yu smiling. Take it. The sadhu took all the presents. The pirates bowed in front of the emperor and said, our leader couldn't come today, next time maybe. We'll tell him. We're off. See you. No problem, said Emperor Yu. The pirate looked at the imperial cultivation disciples trying to remember their faces. The island of the 9 dragons. Lin Feng suddenly said, wait. What is it, little friend? Asked the pirate. Lin Feng was at the top of the Tian level cultivators, he was probably very strong. I admire your group, can I come and pay you a visit sometime? Tell me whenever you want to come, little friend. Take this, it's the chant of the 8 dragons, you can use it to call me, said that person throwing a stone at Lin Feng. Lin Feng seemed to be a strong young man, so of course he was willing to see him again. Thank you so much, master, said Lin Feng bowing and smiling. Yu and Mo Shi were there. He was wondering how they were. He had to go and see them sometime. With the chant of the 8 dragons amulet, it would be much more convenient. See you, said the pirate to Lin Feng. The Yang clan looked at them coldly. They had tried to kill Yang Ziyi. They had yet to get their revenge. After the pirates left, the crowd saw another group of people come. There were people of all sorts of cultivation levels. Who were those people? Tian Long Divine Castle is coming, said a voice in the distance. Chapter 1068, Illusion Strength, Tian Long Divine Castle. The crowd was surprised. Tian Long Divine Castle was coming to Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's territory. People had heard that they were enemies. The crowd looked at the group of people. There were a few dozen people of all cultivation levels. Zun cultivators of the 1st to the 5th Zun Qi layer. People were surprised. What did they want? What was their goal? Mu Chen and Ho Qin Lin looked at them. Most people didn't know that Ho Qin Lin had gone there and killed their protector. Tian Long Divine Castle remembered though. Tian Long Divine Castle came to congratulate Emperor Yu, said the Tian Long group bowing politely in front of Emperor Yu. It's rare to see you. I hope your leader is well, said Emperor Yu looking calm and indifferent. Thank you, we'll pass along your message. We came here with a reason. We have all sorts of cultivators here, from the 1st Tian Qi layer to the 5th Zun Qi layer. We know it was your recruitment process, so we want to exchange our views on cultivation, said the leader of the group. Everybody was surprised. Even though they were polite, they wanted to fight. It wasn't necessary to say much, their purpose was clear. All their cultivators were extremely strong, they came to humiliate the emperor. Many people looked furious in Tiantai. It was a happy day for Tiantai and those people were coming to ruin their event. Emperor Yu smiled in a gentle way. He didn't look furious at all. You can't refuse, on such a joyous day. Your new disciples are so talented after all, said that person. He couldn't refuse. Ho Qinglin had come to their territory and killed their protector, Mu Chen had helped him escape. That was a humiliation, now they had to regain some of their prestige. At that moment, the crowd understood that those people had come to challenge them. Tiantai couldn't refuse, otherwise, they would lose face. If my disciples agree, why not? If they don't, then I'd rather not, said Emperor Yu calmly. Alright, we're done with the graduation ceremony. I'm off now. Do as you wish, said Emperor Yu as his silhouette gradually disappeared. He was gone. He didn't care about such trivial things. His disciples were free to decide what they wanted to do. When those people saw Emperor Yu disappear, they frowned and looked at Mu Chen and Ho Qinglin. Your teacher is incredible and so are you. Since I came here, you could choose 2 people for a challenge. We want to learn from you, said that person, annoyed. Let's do it. At that moment, a dozen people spoke at the same time. Their voices contained a powerful qi which rolled in waves towards the imperial cultivation disciples of Tiantai. Those imperial cultivation disciples from Tiantai who were at the front shook. The people from Tianlong were extremely strong, and they wanted to fight. Tianlong Divine Castle's people had come and challenged Tiantai, so Tiantai's people had to fight whether they wanted to or not. It seems like they're really confident, thought the crowd-looking Tianlong Divine Castle's people. Tiantai's imperial cultivation disciples had no experience yet for they had just graduated. It would be difficult for Tiantai to put up a fight. Our teacher said it, if they want to fight, they'll fight. Otherwise, they won't. You can't force anyone here, said Mu Chen slowly and as calmly as the emperor, as if nothing could make him angry. Emperor Yu is a senior, he can do whatever he wants. However, it's not the case for your fellow disciples, could it be that you didn't teach them anything, said that person coldly. Since the emperor wasn't there anymore, he wasn't hiding his true intentions anymore. He was trying to force them to fight. Who do you think you are? Do you think we'll fight because you want to, said Ho Qinglin abruptly. He then said, today is a joyous day for us. You came here to challenge us, so if my fellow disciples want to fight, they will, otherwise they won't. I'll kill anyone who forces people to fight. And today, I won't be merciful, if you injure anyone, I will kill you as well. How aggressive. People's hearts started racing when they heard Ho Qinglin. Tianlong Divine Castle's people had brought very experienced cultivators with them. If they started fighting, Tiantai's weaker and newer disciples would die. They couldn't take that risk. That person frowned, he didn't know what to say. It's a joyous day for your emperor, fighting is also a method of becoming stronger for new disciples. Please, let's exchange views on cultivation, said Tianlong Divine Castle's people again. Tiantai had no room to refuse. I'm a cultivator of the 3rd Tian Qi layer, like you, let's fight, said someone at that moment. It was an imperial cultivation disciple from the first batch. He was pointing at someone of the same level in Tianlong Divine Castle's group. Very good, said that person coming out and releasing an incredible qi. He immediately attacked, not respecting his opponent. Die, shouted that person coldly. A hand appeared in the sky and moved towards the cultivator from Tiantai. Piss off, shouted the cultivator from Tiantai as he punched the air to block the attack. Die. The attacker's hand streaked across the sky and drew a cross which was filled with a powerful qi. The Tiantai cultivator sensed that something was wrong and moved backwards. Die! The cross dazzled and the cultivator from Tiantai could barely breathe. Empty space energy, the crowd was surprised. A cultivator of the third Tian Qi layer could use empty space spells. Piss off, shouted the cultivator from Tiantai. He was furious. He raised his hands and blocked the cross attack. Do you think you can block illusions? Said the cultivator from Tianlong coldly. The cross shook the sky and pierced through the body of the cultivator from Tiantai. Illusion strength, the crowd was astonished. The cultivator from Tiantai was going to lose, it was difficult at that point. Piss off. The cross pierced through his body, it seemed like he was going to explode. At the same time, the attacker's hand crashed onto his chest and made him fly away. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples can't be so trashy, right? Said Tianlong's cultivator mockingly. Chapter 1069, Wait, as expected, Tianlong Divine Castle's cultivators came here to humiliate Tiantai, thought the crowd. Tianlong's cultivator of the third Tian Qi layer could use illusion spells, that was very rare. Few people chose to learn illusion spells, and amongst those who did, those who truly understood them were rare. If a cultivator managed to imprison someone in an illusion spell, it was a lot easier for them to kill them. Tiantai's people were furious when they heard him making fun of them, especially the one who had just lost. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu had just recruited imperial cultivation disciples and people came to challenge them. It was only to humiliate the two emperors. Mu Chen, Ho Qing Lin, the other direct disciples and Lin Feng were furious. Those people had come to get their revenge, and those who had come were all quite strong. Shut up, shouted the leader from the Tianlong Divine Castle to the cultivator of the third Tian Qi layer. He sounded furious, we came here to exchange views on cultivation. You just won one battle and you think you can be proud because of that? The emperor's disciples are extremely strong, so do you think you could defeat cultivators of higher levels? You have nothing to be proud of, you should be preparing yourself for the next battles. Is he being honest or not? Thought the crowd. Was he serious? The two emperor's disciples were actually really strong, it was just that Tianlong Divine Castle had brought some of their strongest disciples there. I'll try, said someone indifferently at that moment. People were surprised when they saw him. Lin Ruo Tian, I ranked third, said Lin Ruo Tian. Could he win? Even though Tianlong Divine Castle had brought extremely strong disciples, Lin Ruo Tian was a genius from a rich and prestigious family. 7th Tian Qi layer, I'm your opponent, said someone on the side of Tianlong Divine Castle. That cultivator had also broken through to the 7th Tian Qi layer and was smiling in a despising way. The two emperor's disciples had just been selected, they couldn't be as strong as them. Tianlong Divine Castle's disciples had been practicing cultivation, receiving the emperor's teachings for a long time now, all of them had special skills. He has dragon intent and he seems extraordinary, said Mu Chen, flattering the cultivator from the opposite side, but at the same time, he was giving an advice to Lin Ruo Tian. Lin Ruo Tian couldn't afford underestimate his opponent. Tianlong Divine Castle had come to make them lose face. Hee, we have so many cultivators today. It would be great if they could all fight. Also, nobody can be injured today, so no weapons or spirits, said the leader of Tianlong Divine Castle with an indifferent smile. All right, said Mu Chen. All those people were extraordinarily strong. Their spirits had to be extremely powerful too. By imposing those rules, they were going to prove how strong they were without spirits and weapons. They could win and show that Tiantai's people were weak. The challengers couldn't say much either, but nod and obey. Let's see how weak you are. Be careful when I punch you, I don't want to crush you in one punch and kill you. The two emperors would be angry and would have to protect their little babies, otherwise, said that person mockingly. Don't go too hard on him, they said they didn't want anyone to get injured, said someone from the side of Tianlong mockingly. By making fun of the disciples, they were also making fun of the two emperors. "Don't humiliate the emperors," said Ho Chin Lin coldly. He jumped forwards and landed in front of the people from Tianlong Divine Castle and said, "Since you're talking that way, let's fight for real, with blood. I, Ho Chin Lin, am a cultivator of the 5th Zun Qi layer. All your Zun level cultivators, from the 1st to the 5th Zun Qi layer, come and fight me together." As soon as he said that, Ho Chin Lin released very oppressive energy which surrounded the entire crowd from Tianlong Divine Castle. They all looked at the reincarnation energies, they could barely breathe. The leader from the group from Tianlong said, "Brother Ho, what is the meaning of this? We came to exchange views on cultivation. These are ordinary Tianlong Divine Castle's cultivators, they can't fight against you obviously. Is that so? I killed the protector of your altar, you think I believe you if you tell me you came with ordinary disciples?" "I'm not that stupid," said Ho Chin Lin impolitely. He didn't care anymore. Those people wouldn't stop humiliating them. Ho Chin Lin went to Tianlong Divine Castle and killed a Zun cultivator there. Incredible. No wonder they came from so far to get their revenge. When everyone heard Ho Chin Lin, they understood. Besides, when the other said he had just brought ordinary cultivators, that was ridiculous. A cultivator of the 3rd Tian Qi layer who could cast illusion spells, was that ordinary? "Today is the graduation ceremony, you have responsibilities here, do you think you can act impolitely?" said that person coldly. "I'm polite to friends, I needn't show any respect to people who harbor evil intentions. Since you decided to harass my ordinary disciples, we're off," said that person coldly. The atmosphere was very oppressive. Tianlong's people looked at the cultivators from Tiantai in a despising way. "Unfortunately, we wanted to exchange views on cultivation, but it seems that Tiantai's new imperial cultivation disciples are not that good after all. We'll meet at the emperor's meeting soon." "See you," said that person mockingly. The other members of Tianlong Divine Castle also looked at them with disdain. "See you all, Tiantai's geniuses," said the crowd mockingly laughing. "You let them insult you and leave. You're less and less responsive, Mu Chen." Chapter 1070, Battle to Death. "You should call me Uncle Mu," said Mu Chen to Yuan Fei. Mu Chen was friends with Yuan Fei's father. Yuan Fei and his father had a similar personality. When the cultivators from Tianlong Divine Castle heard Lin Feng and the cultivator in grey clothes, they turned around and smiled, "You two must have ranked first. It's no wonder you want to teach us things about cultivation. We wouldn't say we have something to teach you. You came with some of the most outstanding disciples of Tianlong Divine Castle, they all have plenty of experience. We just became imperial cultivation disciples and we haven't received our teacher's teachings yet, how could we compare? Therefore, we would like you to teach us some things," said Lin Feng slowly. The leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle had humiliated them, so now Lin Feng was flattering them. By saying that they were stronger and that Tiantai's disciples couldn't compete with them, it meant that if Tiantai's cultivators lost, it would be normal. If cultivators from Tianlong Divine Castle lost, then it would be a disgrace. "I've heard about how great you are. Tianlong Divine Castle is very strong and powerful. Even though we ranked first, we still haven't received any teachings. Relying solely on cultivation, we can't compete with you. However, as far as I'm concerned, I'm always motivated to become stronger and would be honored if Tianlong Divine Castle could teach me something. I, of course, cherish such opportunities," said the cultivator in grey clothes doing the same as Lin Feng. Both Lin Feng and him couldn't stand hearing other people humiliate Tiantai, after all, they were imperial cultivation disciples now. Besides, the cultivator in grey clothes had ranked first amongst cultivators of the Zun Qi layer, he had to fight. When Mu Chen heard them, he smiled in a resplendent way. He felt grateful. The disciples who had ranked first definitely deserved to be imperial cultivation disciples. 4th Tian Qi layer, "He's mine," said someone at that moment on the side of Tianlong Divine Castle pointing at Lin Feng. He had, like Lin Feng, broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer. 4th Zun Qi layer, "We were meant to meet and exchange views on cultivation," said a cultivator of the 4th Zun Qi layer on the side of Tianlong Divine Castle. The expression in his eyes looked sharp, it seemed like his eyes could pierce through people's skin. He looked particularly evil too. Lin Feng and the cultivator in grey clothes were right, those challengers were extremely strong, they were the best. Therefore, they couldn't be scared of fighting against new imperial cultivation disciples, even if they had ranked first. No need to flatter each other like that. No matter who wins, everybody will learn something, said the leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle. However, he hoped his group would win all the battles. All right, said Mu Chen. When it came to Lin Feng and the cultivator in the grey clothes, he was confident, especially about the cultivator in grey clothes whom he had recruited himself. He knew he was monstrously strong. Concerning Lin Feng, if he could win, that would be great, if he lost, no problems either. In any case, Lin Feng would learn some things about cultivation. So, fight, said the leader from Tianlong Divine Castle with a cold smile. He wanted his disciples to win both battles. He wanted to humiliate them as much as possible. Something else, said the cultivator in grey clothes. His opponent, the other cultivator of the 4th Zun Qi layer, frowned and said, "If you want to fight, let's fight, otherwise bugger off. No need to waste time talking. We're going to exchange views on cultivation, but since we can't control our strength and that blood will be shed, this will be a life and death battle," said the cultivator in grey clothes indifferently. The crowd was surprised. Life and death. He was very confident in himself. I wonder how he can act that way. Why take such risks? Tianlong Divine Castle's people are incredibly strong, thought the crowd, curiously. My brother is right. Everyone will learn even more if it's a battle to death. I don't think the teachers would mind, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Yuan Fei was right, if Qianlong's people wanted to fight that bad, they would risk their life for these battles. Everybody was surprised, including the people from Tiantai. However, they suddenly looked proud and dignified. A moment before, Tianlong Divine Castle had humiliated them, now they felt stronger again as if their integrity had been preserved. All right, indeed, everybody will love that, said Ho Chin Lin. I agree too, said Mu Chen. The group from Tianlong Divine Castle smiled and they all said, very good, we agree, start the battles to death then. The cultivator of the Zun Qi layer didn't waste time and immediately released energies which moved towards the cultivator in grey clothes. Come and experience what dying feels like. You're so impatient, I'll show you then, said the cultivator in grey clothes, jumping forwards and releasing sharp sword energies. Try not to humiliate yourself, said the opponent, destroying the sword energies with the blink of an eye. The cultivator in grey clothes didn't move, his hand streaked across the sky while whistling sounds spread in the air. It sounded like there were many swords streaking across the sky. His fingers were as sharp and dazzling as swords. Poor skill, said that person punching the air. A fist appeared and waves of energies rolled in the air around it. The sword energies kept disappearing. They couldn't get anywhere near him. All of a sudden, a grey dragon appeared, but sword chi crashed onto it as the cultivator in the grey clothes didn't stop. His sword lacerated the sky, it was not a skill or technique, it was just a pure sword attack. The cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle continued punching the air, his punches roared like dragons. His terrifying strength was distorting the atmosphere. He joined his hands and dazzling golden lights appeared. A ferocious-looking dragon appeared inside. According to legends, Emperor Tianlong can use dragons to attack, he can also transform into a dragon himself. That person also uses dragon energies, he must be a high-ranking disciple. The crowd was staring at the dragon. Two golden balls of light appeared and were growing larger. Then, they moved towards the cultivator from Tiantai. Dai, the golden lights condensed. Two gigantic golden claws appeared next to the cultivator in grey clothes. They were going to shred him into pieces. However, the cultivator in grey clothes looked calm. His lips moved as if he wanted to say something, but instead, a sword came out of his mouth. It was a black sword, a deadly black sword. Boom boom. As the sword came out of his mouth, the atmosphere started trembling. The golden claws continued twinkling, but couldn't move forwards. It seemed like they were faltering. Chapter 1071, Death is in the Air. People from Tianlong Divine Castle were surprised. The cultivator in grey clothes had managed to block the attack. "Break!" shouted the opponent furiously. The golden dragon roared furiously and strength dashed to the skies. An infinite amount of golden energies flooded towards the energies which were blocking the golden claws. "Destroy," said the cultivator in grey clothes. In a flash, the sword he was using to constrict the claws buzzed and trembled. Sword chi became even more prevalent as the golden claws started shaking violently. Finally, they broke apart and turned into ashes, dispersing in the air. How strong! That sword isn't a sharp weapon. What is it exactly? It's scary. Dragon's 9 earthquakes, said the strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. The dragon started roaring and a loud sound spread in the air, as if there was an earthquake. Another powerful attack. The sword is even shaking now. I bet it can't block the attack anymore, thought the crowd. The sword shook. The cultivator in grey clothes jumped forwards with his sword in his hand. Terrifying buzzing sounds continued making everything shake around them. The cultivator in grey clothes threw himself at the strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle with his sword. "Die," said that person furiously. His dragon roared a third time. This time the atmosphere was completely distorted as fissures appeared in the ground and even a crater appeared. If that cultivator really mastered the skill, he would be able to destroy an entire empire. The cultivator in grey clothes would have had no chance at all. "Eternal desolation," said the cultivator in grey clothes at that moment. Desolate chi dashed to the skies and it smelt like death. Even though people were far away watching, they suddenly started growing older from the desolate chi. What's going on? Everybody was astonished. They were growing old. Were they going to die just from watching the fight? Timeless strength. How terrifying, the crowd was in disbelief. He understood timeless abstruse energies and could make them grow old. The scariest part was that the cultivator in grey clothes wasn't aiming at them, but at his opponent. The crowd looked at the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. His energies were fading and he looked to be growing older. It was as if time had started passing a lot faster all of a sudden. He suddenly looked terrified. Boom boom boom, swords started falling from the sky as if it were raining swords. The strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle was suddenly surrounded by those swords, unable to move. Slash! He started coughing blood. His blood splashed on his dragon claw. "Fourth roar," he said while coughing blood. However, the cultivator in grey clothes was slowly walking towards him. After each of his steps, it seemed like he was condensing more force. His timeless energies were becoming even thicker. The facial expression of the strong cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle turned deathly pale. His chi was fading and his hair had started turning white. "Rise!" shouted the cultivator in grey clothes. All his swords started pointing at the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle. His chi was chaotic and he couldn't control his strength anymore. What was that strange sensation? "Die," said the cultivator in grey clothes with his swords pointing at his target. "Move away," shouted someone in the distance. However, the desolate chi was too thick. He was becoming old very quickly and the sword chi was slowly piercing through his body. He started bleeding everywhere and clothes were soaked in blood. He was slowly losing his vitality, his life. The crowd was astonished and their hearts were racing. How strong! The desolate energy coupled with his sword skills were a deadly combination. The dragon was still roaring, but it was useless. Then, the swords pierced completely through his body and he died. The people from Tianlong Divine Castle looked furious. They had lost. On top of that, a cultivator of the fourth Zun Qi layer had died. No wonder those disciples from Tianlong Divine Castle feel so proud. You have some real geniuses. I wouldn't have thought he'd be able to resist for so long, said the cultivator in grey clothes indifferently, glancing at the people from Tianlong Divine Castle. Then, he turned around and walked back. His voice was painfully piercing through those people's eardrums. He killed one of them and then complimented them, how humiliating. At the same time, they sighed. He was really strong and quite merciless. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu had recruited an actual genius. Only a real genius could release desolate qi and understand eternal abstruse energies. He would become as strong as Ho Qing Lin in the future. Second battle, said the leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle. He didn't say anything superfluous. They had lost, it was useless to say anything more about it. They had to strive and win the second battle. This time, we have to win, he said to the cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer using telepathy. If they lost, that would be a humiliation, and on top of that, they would have wasted their time traveling there. Don't worry. I will, replied the cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer. He walked forwards and released deadly energies. He seemed determined to win. Lin Feng looked calm and indifferent. He jumped forwards, unaffected by those deadly energies. Boom! Without saying anything, the opponent punched the air in Lin Feng's direction. It contained pure physical strength, his fist was as hard as steel. Lin Feng raised his hands, he looked fearless. His enemy's fist contained an incredible strength, but Lin Feng was completely unaffected. Gotcha! The two fists collided. They both sensed how strong they were. It was as if two golden statues had collided. They both took a few steps back after the exchange. The opponent looked at Lin Feng, who seemed completely indifferent after their exchange. Golden light started glowing in the opponent's bones. It looked like dragon strength. They all have dragon strength, thought the crowd. Lin Feng's opponent was turning into a dragon. Chapter 1072, Challenger's Spirit, is he turning into a dragon? The crowd looked at the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle, his body was currently surrounded by dragon lights. His hands and feet were metamorphosing first. After that, his body started metamorphosing as well. It must be a half-transformation, as expected. Tianlong Divine Castle's people learn dragon skills, thought the crowd. According to legends, dragon strength packed a punch, they couldn't wait to see how powerful his dragon skills were. I wanted to play with you slowly at first, but your friends just killed my brother, so I will kill you quickly to avenge him, said that cultivator with his dragon eyes staring at Lin Feng. I'm waiting then, said Lin Feng. He was standing in the air with his clothes were fluttering in the wind. Since you want to die, I'll kill you quickly, said the cultivator with a dragon voice. He rose up in the air very quickly. He seemed very strong, one of his punches could probably destroy a mountain range. Lin Feng's fist started glowing with golden and black lights. People started wondering what kind of strength that was. Lin Feng moved and punched his opponent's fist. A very loud metallic sound spread in the air, the energy released by the collision created an earthquake. The golden lights were dazzling to the eyes. A huge fissure appeared in the ground just below where they had exchanged blows. How incredible! Those cultivators of the fourth Tian Qi layer are so strong, thought the crowd. Many cultivators at the fifth and sixth Tian Qi layer were thinking that they might not be able to fight against those two. However, the two fighters in the sky seemed like they didn't know what pain was. Golden lights and bestial chi dashed to the skies. His metamorphosis again, it's not finished. Maybe in the end, Lin Feng won't be able to resist him anymore, thought the crowd. It was as if Lin Feng and his opponent had completely forgotten to use skills and techniques. They were just using pure physical strength at that moment. You're strong, but that's all. Die now, said the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle coldly. Each time he punched Lin Feng, the crowd noticed his dragon form was becoming even more distinct and he was also becoming even stronger. Could he turn into a real dragon? Lin Feng was calm and serene. He just ignored his opponent's words. The sun was shining upon his body and everything around him was turning into flames. Lin Feng was suddenly bathing in flames and fire energies dashed to the skies and surrounded his enemy. Fire strength, you can't kill me with fire. Don't you know what bestial strength is, said the cultivator from Tianlong coldly. Many people inspected the battle from inside the fire using their awareness. However, the fire was still too great. If they put their awareness inside, they could die. Even though some people could actually do it without any risk, they decided not to. Deviousness, you're about to bring about your own destruction, said the cultivator from Tianlong Divine Castle coldly. He jumped out of the fire. He had already almost completely turned into a beast by now. He opened his third eye and bestial energies poured out. Roar! He turned into a real dragon and threw himself at Lin Feng. I'm not the only one who can open my bestial consciousness, thought Lin Feng smiling. You're not the only one who has a bestial consciousness, said Lin Feng to him using telepathy. He also opened his third eye. Boom! The enemy's heart twitched. What? Lin Feng also had a bestial consciousness. Was his bestial strength powerful or not? His thoughts were suddenly chaotic. He hadn't thought about that. Lin Feng released chi using his own bestial consciousness. What? He wasn't releasing bestial energy, he was releasing desolate chi. It was the energy of decay. However, the enemy didn't have more than a millisecond to react. Desolate chi was suddenly dashing to the skies and had surrounded him. Pure sun chi emitted crackling sounds in the air as Lin Feng recalled his desolate chi. The crowd was watching the battle in the sky. What was going on? Had they stopped fighting? The atmosphere wasn't shaking anymore, the ground was crackling anymore, there were just a few flames calmly emitting crackling sounds above them. Finally, the fire disappeared and a silhouette appeared. There was only one person left. Lin Feng was there, bathing in his own fire. However, the Tianlong Divine Castle's cultivator wasn't there anymore. After that last roar, he had disappeared. What happened, thought the crowd. Many people's hearts were pounding violently. Where was he? Such a strong cultivator couldn't disappear without leaving any trace. Of course, people from Tianlong Divine Castle seemed to be furious. 2 battles, 2 defeats. A cultivator of the 4th Zun Qi layer had died stabbed by swords and desolate Qi in the second cultivator, well, nobody knew how he had died. What a tragedy. They had come to humiliate Tian Tai and had failed. I always believed you when you said you had sent your most ordinary cultivators. Otherwise, how could you explain how he couldn't withstand a single attack? Even though we haven't received any teachings yet, we still won. I hope that next time you come to exchange views on cultivation, you'll send stronger disciples or at least some who are as strong as us. I don't feel like fighting against these ordinary cultivators, said Lin Feng indifferently. The enemy's mouths were twitching. They were extremely pissed off. As strong as them? Stronger. He didn't feel like fighting them. What could they say? Nothing. Nothing that could save them from further humiliation. They had sent some incredible cultivators and had lost anyway. Chapter 1073, Granddad will teach you a lesson. Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu recruited extraordinary disciples. I have to admit it. We will come back to exchange views on cultivation in the future. Just you wait, said the leader of the group from Tianlong Divine Castle, sounding threatening. Remember to send some people as strong as us or even stronger than. Otherwise, we won't learn anything, replied Lin Feng. Don't worry. Let's go, said the leader of the group. They all glanced at Lin Feng and people from Tiantai, then they turned around and left. All right, see you, said Mu Chen indifferently. He was wondering when they would come back and with whom. All those people from Tianlong disappeared as quickly as they came. Not bad, said Mu Chen to Lin Feng and the cultivator in grey clothes. Both were very talented. Their opponents were terrifyingly strong, had shown incredible battling skills, and yet they had lost. Lin Feng probably hid what he did on purpose during the battle. His opponent didn't even have time to shout, thought the crowd. Lin Feng had incredible battling skills. He had probably used his sun technique just to hide himself. No matter what, it didn't matter anymore. We're done for today. The Imperial Cultivation Disciples, follow me to Tiantai. The first batch of disciples have their own palaces, the second batch will have dormitories, said Mu Chen smiling. The Imperial Cultivation Disciples from the first batch had incredible palaces which contained treasures. Last time, Mu Chen had told them that the emperors built them themselves and that they contained extraordinary treasures. I wonder which palace I will get, thought everyone. Some people looked at Lin Feng. He had climbed up the 9 groups of steps and had come out of the underground world first. He also eliminated Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi, he defeated Xian Yuan in the illusion. And when Xian Yuan had come out of the Huangxi underground, he wanted to kill Lin Feng. What had Lin Feng done to him? Lin Feng had accomplished many things in that short time. He had also ranked first at the exam, so obviously, he was going to get the best palace. As far as Zun-level cultivators were concerned, the cultivator in grey clothes was going to get the best palace amongst Zun-level cultivators as well. The crowd at the foot of Tiantai was looking at the students with amazement. The students of the first batch were going to get their own palaces. Tiantai was, for many people, a holy grounds. Maybe the emperor who had just appeared before them lived there personally, which meant that people who lived in Tiantai would have opportunities to meet the emperors in person. If they received the emperor's direct teachings, they would soar. After receiving the keys to your palaces, maybe you will want to seclude yourselves to practice. If you have questions, ask them now. We recommend that you don't leave Tiantai for a while, we won't force you to stay, but we recommend you stay to become stronger so that you're ready to fight when you leave. Said Mu Chen. Many people were nervous. What Mu Chen was implying was that something was probably going to open, otherwise, why would they need to stay and become even stronger? I'll give you 1 hour to figure out what you are doing, said Mu Chen. Everyone had 1 hour, in case they wanted to talk to their families, clans and so on. Hee hee. Yuan Fei started laughing as he walked towards Lin Feng with his wooden stick in his hand. He laughed and said, "Not bad, buddy. I don't like Emperor Tianlong, he's not a good guy. I never liked him actually." Lin Feng looked at him and rolled his eyes. Yuan Fei was talking about an emperor that way again, he really was fearless. Nobody would ever offend him anyways. Offending the Great Ape Emperor's grandson was the same as offending the emperor himself. When the crowd heard Yuan Fei, they were speechless. Their mouths were wide open even. Tiantai's own people wouldn't dare offend Emperor Tianlong. They didn't like him, but didn't say it openly. After all, he was an emperor. Who's that guy? He scared Xian Yuan to death and now he criticizes an emperor. He calls Lin Feng his brother. Xian Yuan said he wanted to kill Lin Feng, but when that guy came, he didn't say anything more. Everybody guessed that Lin Feng and Yuan Fei were close and that he had helped Lin Feng confront Xian Yuan during the test. Xian Yuan had imperial origins. He had always bragged he'd rank first at the recruitment process and in the end, he had been chased by Yuan Fei and failed. It was normal for him to go insane. Xian Yuan wasn't there anymore and the crowd was wondering where he had gone. He's a cultivator of the 7th Tian Qi layer, how can he despise an emperor, said someone at that moment. Someone from the Chiu clan had said that and they drew people's attention. Chiu Hao's children had almost killed Lin Feng and Chiu Yuxian wanted to avenge Lin Feng. She wanted to kill Chiu Lin and Chiu Mei. Everybody knew that Chiu Hao didn't like Lin Feng. Brother, Chiu Yuxian is a genius from our clan and she's incredibly beautiful. She ranked second at the recruitment process so she has to marry a genius. Our most important task is to take good care of her and prevent her from making mistakes or bad decisions. We can't let the outside world pollute her. That guy is jealous of Chiu Yuxian and Lin Feng. The crowd understood. Chiu Yuxian had ranked second and Lin Feng had ranked first. There were tensions between him and Lin Feng. What a hypocritical little boy. You're a tiny little person, my boy. No need to pretend, if you have anything to say it directly. If you continue to act like that, Daddy will have to teach you a lesson, said Yuan Fei pointing at Chiu Hao. Everybody was astonished. Chiu Hao's face turned red. He was insulting Chiu Hao and telling him he'd punish him, like a father would his son. You impolite little boy, watch your words. I'm older than you, said Chiu Hao coldly. Shut the hell up, Chiu Hao, shouted Chiu Hao's father at that moment. When he saw Yuan Fei, he immediately thought of a rumor. Yuan Fei was surprised and smiled in a strange way as he said to Chiu Hao, you want to become my grandpa? Chapter 1074, Chiu Hao's difficult times. Chiu Hao glanced at his father. He didn't know why he was shouting at him. He then looked at Yuan Fei who smiled in a strange way. Even though Yuan Fei was incredibly talented and strong, he was younger than him. How could he act so disrespectful? I'll show you. I can replace your grandfather easily if you wanted, replied Chiu Hao coldly. Chiu Hao, shouted his father furiously. Why was his father so upset? Hee, old dude, did you hear that? My grandpa has a bad temper, if he knows what you just said, he wouldn't be happy, said Yuan Fei smiling fatuously. The old man of the Chiu clan asked, Your Excellency, who is your grandfather? Yuan Fei was sounding more and more like that person. Chiu Hao realized that his father had seemingly thought of someone. No wonder he was upset and didn't want to offend Yuan Fei. His grandfather is an old friend of my teacher's, said Mu Chen smiling. The crowd was surprised. Mu Chen's teachers, the emperors. An old friend of the emperor's. Everybody understood. The Chiu clan's old man remained silent. He was thinking of someone. His grandfather is the Great Ape Emperor. Uncle said he wanted to replace the Great Ape Emperor, said Chiu Yuxian indifferently. Chiu Hao's heart started racing. It was Yuan Fei. The Great Ape Emperor's grandson. The Great Ape Emperor. The crowd was speechless. No wonder he had chased Xian Yuan and scared him to death. Xian Yuan was strong and arrogant because he had a little bit of imperial blood, but Yuan Fei's grandfather was a real emperor. Besides, a powerful emperor at that. Should I call my grandfather so that you can tell him what you just said, said Yuan Fei when he saw that Chiu Hao looked nervous. Chiu Hao was extremely embarrassed. In Ba Huang province, nobody dared despise or humiliate any emperors. But, he had just made fun of Yuan Fei's grandfather. Chiu Hao is insolent, please forgive him, said Chiu Yuxian's grandfather to Yuan Fei smiling politely. He then stared at Chiu Hao and screamed, apologize now. Chiu Hao was clenching his fists. Do you want to be expelled from the Chiu clan? Said the old man when he saw that Chiu Hao wasn't reacting. Even though the Great Ape Emperor probably didn't care about ordinary people talking about him, nobody could bully his grandson. If someone offended his grandson, he could simply shout and destroy the Chiu clan in the blink of an eye. Chiu Hao's face turned deathly pale. Chiu Hao, I admit I made a mistake, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you or your grandfather, said Chiu Hao lowering his head. Yuan Fei didn't even look at him. He looked at Lin Feng and said, I think Lin Feng, who's like a brother to me, and that beautiful woman are a perfect match. You're a bastard for criticizing my brother. We still have yet to see if Lin Feng wants to forgive you or not. Lin Feng again. How can Lin Feng be so lucky? He is talented and beautiful women likes him. Qiu Yuxian had actually attacked her family for him. Now, the great ape emperor's grandson considered him as a brother. No wonder Xian Yuan had gone through so many hardships because of him. Lin Feng shrugged. Yuan Fei was awesome, he even used his grandfather's name to scare people. No need to pay attention to such people. His own daughter is simply useless and weak. She's just jealous, said Lin Feng indifferently. He didn't even look at Chiu Hao. Chiu Hao was furious. Lin Feng even dared criticize his daughter to humiliate him. He, you're right. No need to pay attention to such people, said Yuan Fei. He looked at Chiu Hao and said, piss off now, if you dare act insolent again, I'll break all your teeth with my wooden stick. Chiu Hao lowered his head, he looked furious at that moment. They were both humiliating him, but he couldn't do anything about it. Father, said Xiu Mei at that moment. She wanted to cheer her father up. Shut the hell up, shouted Chiu Hao furiously. Two useless pieces of trash. Father, Lin Feng is too insolent, he even dares criticize the elders. He certainly can't be with you Xian, said Chiu Hao to his father. Chiu Hao, what are you talking about? You tried to kill him in the past, so of course he doesn't respect you. Besides, he's not a bad guy, he's the first imperial cultivation disciple and he's friends with the great ape emperor's grandson. In the future, he will become very powerful. Yuxian and Lin Feng are a perfect match. As her father, I'm not worried about Yuxian being with him. Qiu Yuxian's father smiled indifferently. Many people despised Lin Feng before the recruitment process. Many people said Lin Feng was incompetent and so on. But he proved how strong he was though. He climbed up 9 groups of steps and he ranked first. He was not weaker than many young men from rich and prestigious families. He was the first imperial cultivation disciple, so nobody could criticize him now. The old man remained silent. Qiu Yuxian was the most talented young person in the Qiu clan. She deserved to be treated well and fairly. Most people in the clan attached a lot of importance to Qiu Yuxian. Even if he's a bit talented, so what? He's only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer, 3 levels weaker than Yuxian. We don't even know if he will continue to become stronger. What you mean is that we should find an old man of the Zun Qi layer for Yuxian. Your daughter has broken through to the 6th Tian Qi layer, you should have her fight against Lin Feng and we'll see who wins then, said Qiu Yuxian's father mockingly. Lin Feng was an incredible fighter, he would probably become even stronger. Don't talk about my daughter, take care of your own and that'll be enough. Shut the hell up, shouted the old man. Yuxian is young. She can get married in 2 years or so, there's no need to talk about it now. That's right actually, said Chiu Hao smiling. Nobody knew what would happen in the following years. The old man was thoughtful, they would see what Lin Feng became after 2 years. At that moment, the other new imperial cultivation disciples left their families and clans. They had to practice cultivation in Tiantai. Some young people from rich and powerful families had obtained some presents from their families. They had managed to become imperial cultivation disciples, so their families were proud of them. They had to show them how proud they were by offering them precious weapons and skills and techniques. Very quickly, everybody left their families and Mu Chen waved and said, "All right, go back to Tiantai." The new imperial cultivation disciples then went back to Tiantai, to their own palaces. The crowd looked at them and sighed. Those people would become extremely strong in the future, but they had to leave them for now. Of course, people attached more importance to the imperial cultivation disciples of the first batch. They would become even stronger than those of the second batch. The flight of stairs was always there now, so Tiantai wouldn't be isolated from the rest of the world anymore. It had become an authentic imperial group of influence. Chapter 1075, Mystery of the Flight of Stairs. All the palaces were surrounded by mystical energies in Tiantai and celestial qi. Mu Qin went in front of the crowd. He was one of the 9 emperor's direct disciples. Now he had 362 new fellow disciples, half of the first batch, half of the second. Everybody, there's no forbidden place for you in Tiantai. You can go anywhere you wish. However, there are some palaces which can be dangerous for you. You have to be careful because you could die in there. Everybody listened calmly. Mu Qin continued, our teachers are emperors, they usually don't show up. Even though you've become imperial cultivation disciples, whether you can receive their direct teachings or not will be determined by your capacity to study and your progress. It's not because you're in Tiantai that you're going to become incredible cultivators, you have to rely on yourself to study. The path of cultivation isn't easy. The emperors won't get involved in your life either, whether it is related to your family or yourselves. Even if we fight against Tianlong Divine Castle's people, they won't show up. They would only show up if Emperor Tianlong himself showed up. The crowd listened calmly. Emperors were dignified in Ba Huang province. They don't intervene in ordinary people's lives. Some emperors have millions of disciples, getting involved in each disciple's life was impossible. Unless a disciple drew the emperor's attention, the emperor wouldn't get involved. Therefore, after becoming imperial cultivation disciples, their next goal was to become the emperor's direct disciples. Mu Qin showed palaces on 2 sides and said, there are 18,000 cultivation courtyards, those at the front have a more concentrated pure qi. You, 362 people, can choose the ones you want yourselves. Therefore, there might be conflicts between you when choosing a place to practice. However, I'm warning you, we're in Tiantai so there can't be any bloodshed here. Otherwise, you will be considered a rebel and we'll kill you. Roger, brother, everybody nodded. Even though Mu Qin was talking in a relaxed way, he sounded firm. Ho Qin Lin dared go to other people's territories and kill them and Mu Qin had brought him back afterwards. They could be as aggressive and firm as they wanted. Besides, Ho Qin Lin respected Mu Qin a lot. Therefore, everybody obeyed Mu Qin and respected him. He's not that easy to deal with, hee, whispered Yuan Fei to Lin Feng. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. He was fearless. Mu Qin was saying those things with a purpose. Everybody understood that nobody could fight, they were all part of the same group now. It was the same as in Tianqi with the 7 snowy peaks, there was no competition between them. Mu Qin didn't pay attention to Yuan Fei as he brought the disciples to another place. The area seemed endless as it was impossible to count all the palaces. However, Mu Qin had brought them to a specific road where they arrived in front of 81 palaces, the palaces there were the palaces the disciples had seen the last time. These were the palaces where they were going to live. Those palaces were vast and lofty. One of those palaces is going to be mine, thought the crowd. They were impatient to see what there was inside. Brother, said someone at that moment. The crowd saw the sadhu arrive in the air. He shook his hand and a flight of stairs appeared. It was a flight of stairs with 9 groups of 9 steps. That was the last group of steps during the exam, the crowd was surprised. 81 steps divided into 9 groups. You're right, that's the same. The only thing is that you can see it properly now, said Mu Qin smiling. The flight of stairs twinkled and materialized into an actual flight of stairs. The crowd was staring at the flight of stairs wondering what was going to happen. Behind the flight of stairs, some roads appeared which looked like illusions. There was a different world behind each group of steps. The 81 palaces were after the second group of steps. Only those who can make it further than the first group of stairs can get a palace, remembered the crowd. After the 9th one, there were some hidden treasures. Back then, you passed that test. You obtained different keys. Thanks to your keys, you can easily reach the level you reached back then and enter a palace to practice cultivation. Those different levels offer different treasures, explained Mu Chen, smiling indifferently. Brother, if I only have the key of the second group of steps, will I never have the opportunity to get to the third one? Asked someone. You will. Besides, you can do that any time. You can go to the third group of steps at any time, to the extent that you can even move to a palace of the third level. You can even move your palace with you. For example, Lin Feng climbed up 9 groups of steps, therefore, he can benefit from all the advantages of the 9th group of steps, he can even move his palace there, explained Mu Chen. Suddenly, everybody had the urge to get to the highest level possible to benefit from the best advantages. Lin Feng could go there directly. Buddy, can I have some fun too? Said Yuan Fei, laughing. Mu Chen looked at him, shook his head smiling and said, You're insane, buddy. Your grandfather gave you a great place to practice, it's a winner's kind of place. Even though our cultivation places aren't bad, they can't be compared with yours, but do as you wish. What winner are you talking about? If I don't leave my cultivation place, how can I become stronger? Said Yuan Fei, scratching and shaking his head as if he had thought of something unpleasant. You're wealthy, but you just don't know it. Many people could only dream of having your life. The great ape emperor wouldn't be so happy to hear that, said Mu Chen. Let's not talk about it. How come I see nothing after the 9th group of steps? Isn't it where you live? Said Yuan Fei, gazing into the distance. Your eyes are quite good, said Mu Chen, laughing indifferently. When people looked there, it was like an illusion. 10th group of steps is where the emperor's direct disciples practice cultivation and where the emperors live. If you manage to make it there, you'll become direct disciples. Mu Chen explained further. In a flash, people's hearts started pounding violently. If they managed to make it there, they become direct disciples. That was also where the emperors lived. Chapter 1076, Yuan Fei is insane. If we manage to go there, we'll become direct disciples. The crowd was clenching their fists. Direct disciples, that was their dream. They would have the opportunity to receive the emperor's direct teachings. They would also be able to practice cultivation in much better conditions. I can only make it to the 3rd level now, so I still have to progress. I have to manage it like Lin Feng did and climb up the first 9 groups of steps, thought many people. Indeed, the higher levels were difficult to climb. They were a bit envious. Why could Lin Feng do it and not them? Brother, will we have the opportunity to become disciples of the first batch? Asked someone of the second batch. Of course you will. In Tiantai, everybody is treated fairly. If you are talented, there's nothing you can't do, but if you're weak, you will be eliminated. If someday, you manage to climb 3 groups of steps, you'll be able to eliminate those who can only climb the second group of steps and replace them. You will also be able to take over their palaces. If there are several people on one level, then their cultivation level will be compared and the weakest ones will be eliminated, said Mu Chen. They had become imperial cultivation disciples of the first batch and could benefit from better things, but it wasn't fixed. They could be replaced if they didn't progress, then they would be eliminated. It's the same for everyone. Nothing is fixed. Things can change if you remain unchanged, continued Mu Chen. How intense. What a pressure. But pressure was the only way to progress. In order not to be surpassed and not to feel humiliated, they had to become stronger. Lin Feng had managed to climb up the 9th group of steps. Not only would he get better things to study, but also, it would be difficult for others to catch up with him and replace him. Everybody looked at Lin Feng. Behind him was Meng Ba, who had only climbed 5 groups of steps. Would he be able to catch up with Lin Feng at some point? Alright, take your keys out and go up without worrying. Lin Feng, you go first. Disciples of the Zun Qi layer, wait, you'll go up later, said Mu Chen. Lin Feng took out his key and started going up the stairs. On the first level, he sensed nothing at all. Thanks to his key, he was able to go up the stairs easily. Lin Feng sensed nothing at all. Behind the second group of steps, there was no palace, only a road. On that road were many palaces. It looked like Tiantai. Those palaces were for people to practice cultivation. In those numerous palaces, there were probably many treasures to practice cultivation. Lin Feng could sense their energies. The 81 palaces all had an incredible qi. There were large differences between all those qi though. The highest palace had the thickest and the richest qi. Lin Feng could choose first because he had ranked first. Mu Chen turned around and saw him, he was surprised. Like Lin Feng, he was defying the skies. Finally, he stepped on the 9th group of steps, completely relaxed. His qi disappeared and the atmosphere became calm again. The crowd was astonished, their hearts were pounding violently. They could still see him in their thoughts. Chapter 1077, A Cave with a Waterfall at its mouth, in the Mountain of Flowers and Fruit. How strong. They couldn't imagine how strong Yuan Fei was. They felt like the earth and sky were going to collapse from his strength. Yuan Fei looked like a mountain holding a wooden stick. He had managed to climb up the stairs even more relaxed than Lin Feng had. His grandfather was the great ape emperor after all. Lin Feng was astonished too. How majestic. He was as strong as a mountain with such an explosive force. No wonder that Xian Yuan was scared to death while facing Yuan Fei. Just a moment before, he looked like a gigantic gorilla with a stick and now he looked normal again. Lin Feng guessed that the wooden stick was probably an extraordinary tool. Lin Feng walked next to Yuan Fei and said smiling, "You're awesome." "Hee, that was fun." "Should we try to go higher?" said Yuan Fei smiling fatuously while pointing towards the 10th group of steps. The crowd was astonished when they heard him. He was really fearless. He wanted to try everything at once. Did he think it was easy? "Alright, let's try," said Lin Feng laughing. Even though he wasn't strong enough, he could still try to see how overwhelming it was. They glanced at each other and started going up. They had already reached the 9th group of steps anyways, so that was Lin Feng's next goal anyways. Boom! They hadn't even put a foot on the following step when they both sensed a terrifyingly oppressive energy which turned into a black cloud and forced energies to roll in waves. How strong! "It's an illusion," said Yuan Fei. Lin Feng and he moved back, they definitely couldn't go up. When they took their foot back, the black cloud disappeared and turned into emptiness again as if it had never existed before that. "It's an illusion, it looks like a holy weapon. It might even try to kill us," said Yuan Fei. To become the emperor's direct disciples, Lin Feng had to climb that black cloud which contained an incredibly oppressive strength. How could he do it? How could he break the illusion? It can definitely be broken. "It's just that we're not strong enough," said Lin Feng. They couldn't break the illusion yet because cultivation wasn't that easy. Someday, he would manage to do it though. "I hope so. Lin Feng, if the emperors don't feel like teaching you, just come to the cave with a waterfall at its mouth in the Mountain of Flowers and Fruit, my grandfather will teach you personally," said Yuan Fei smiling fatuously. Lin Feng was dumbstruck, as if he had been struck by lightning. "Mountain of Flowers and Fruit, a cave with a waterfall at its mouth," whispered Lin Feng. His heart was twitching. Great ape, wooden stick, Mountain of Flowers and Fruit, a cave with a waterfall at its mouth, Lin Feng thought, what, the great ape's grandson is, indeed, Mountain of Flowers and Fruit, the cave with a waterfall at its mouth. "Remember," said Yuan Fei smiling. Do you always call that place the cave with a waterfall at its mouth in the mountain of flowers and fruit? Asked Lin Feng. He couldn't help but ask. No, I used to call it Ape Stone Mountain, but 1,000 years ago, an incredible person appeared there and observed Ba Huang from that spot. One of my ancestors challenged him, but lost. When that person left, he told my ancestor to call that place the mountain of flowers and fruit, and that there's a cave with a waterfall at its mouth there, replied Yuan Fei. Who was that cultivator? Is he still alive? Asked Lin Feng. He had defeated the great ape emperor's ancestor, he must have been extraordinarily strong. It's not important. Someday, I'll tell you if he's still alive, nobody knows right now. But we can be sure that if he's still alive, he can destroy the continent of the 9 clouds on his own, said Yuan Fei, unwilling to talk too much about it. He even looked a bit scared. It was difficult to imagine that someone obstinate and unruly like him could also fear another person. All right, my brother, I just came to see you. Now I need to find my buddy to bring me back to the Huangxi underground, I came from there after all. Come and see me when you have time. I'd be happy to see you, said Yuan Fei, tapping on Lin Feng's shoulders. That tap actually hurt Lin Feng, that guy was strong. Yuan Fei jumped away into the distance in a free and unrestrained way. If you're in the mood, come and find me to have some drinks too, said Yuan Fei from the distance. His voice rolled in waves in the air as he disappeared. Lin Feng watched as his silhouette disappeared in the horizon. He had a new friend. After that, Lin Feng sighed and looked at the sky. The Sky Palace, what's the date tonight? He remembered those words. They were deeply carved in his memories. Is it you? Whispered Lin Feng, talking to the sky. The crowd looked at Lin Feng. What was Lin Feng doing? He looked nostalgic. When was Qiong Qi born? Maybe he knows something, thought Lin Feng suddenly. Then, he opened the palace and went in. Gotcha. A terrifying strength suddenly oppressed Lin Feng, which made him crawl. He had the impression a mountain was crushing him. How oppressive, thought Lin Feng. There was nothing in that palace, it was empty. There was only an oppressive pure qi with some fog. How scary was that? Lin Feng had to use both his hands to get off the ground. It was difficult for him to stand up and his back hurt from just trying. The oppressive energy in the palace was as terrifying as the energy on the 8th group of steps. Lin Feng's blood was boiling at that moment. Lin Feng raised his head and looked at the ceiling. There was a strange energy there. Sometimes, there were star patterns, sometimes, mountain and river patterns, it was a mysterious strength. Not bad, thought Lin Feng, grinding his teeth. He understood what Yuan Fei felt like, he had to suffer to become stronger. Lin Feng shook his hand and his animal tower appeared. Gotcha. A silhouette appeared and was instantly attacked by those oppressive energies. Bastard, why did you take me out here? Said Qiong Qi, shaking. He had the impression he was being crushed. He opened his gigantic eyes and fixedly stared at Lin Feng. You have to respect your elders, do I have to teach you politeness? Said Qiong Qi, grinding his teeth. Lin Feng had put him in the animal tower, which was already very uncomfortable, and now he had taken him out in another uncomfortable place with oppressive energies. He wasn't being very nice to the great emperor. Chapter 1078, Lin Feng's reflection. Emperor, I need to ask you something important, said Lin Feng seriously. Qiong Qi looked at Lin Feng. What did that madman want now? Speak. Do you know a cave with a waterfall at its mouth in the mountain of flowers and fruit? Asked Lin Feng. Qiong Qi's eyes were suddenly wide open and twinkling. Of course he knew. When Lin Feng saw Qiong Qi's reaction, he understood that Qiong Qi knew. I just want to ask you one question, said Lin Feng. Then, he said, the Godly Awareness Palace is associated to the phrase the Sky Palace. What's the date tonight? And a long time ago, an incredible cultivator fought against an ape emperor. He used to call a place the Stone Ape Mountain and then the name changed to Mountain of Flowers and Fruit. Isn't that the same person? Roar! Xiong-Chi stood up as the energies oppressed him. He stared at Lin Feng and said, "What did you learn?" As expected, it's the same person, thought Lin Feng suddenly. There couldn't be 1,000 possibilities. How strange, the continent of the 9 clouds was such a strange world. Lin Feng's analytical skills were incredible to have figured that out. Lin Feng was sure it was him. "Do you know who it is?" asked Xiong-Chi. Impossible, Lin Feng couldn't know who such an incredible warrior was. A cultivator who could destroy the continent of the 9 clouds. "I don't know. I just heard some mysterious stories," said Lin Feng. "Emperor, you're extremely strong, yet you don't even feel anything under such an oppressive strength." Xiong-Chi looked at Lin Feng in a cruel way. Boom! Xiong-Chi spat out flames towards Lin Feng. Gotcha! Lin Feng dodged the attack and crawled again because of the oppressive energies. He rolled his eyes speechless. Wasn't this the palace where he lived? How could he live there? "Little boy, good for you, you tried to oppress me in here," said Xiong-Chi laughing. At that moment, a sharp sword chi moved towards Xiong-Chi. Xiong-Chi coughed and fell down. "Who made me come out?" said Xiong-Chi. "It was almost better to be in the animal tower." "I made you come out because I fear that you forgot the date tonight," said Lin Feng. Xiong-Chi looked at him and said, "Do I need to know?" "There's no holy mark here. There are star, fire and wind energies as well as the force of the earth and sky. They're quite simple, actually, they're the simplest. You must sense those energies. Now, make me go back into the animal tower. I need to rest." "Are you serious?" Lin Feng looked at the energies, perplexed. Could those energies be the simplest ones? How could they be so oppressive then? "You need to learn slowly. You need to understand the mysteries of the explosive force of the earth and sky. This palace can help you achieve that," said Xiong-Chi in a despising way. Lin Feng smiled. Xiong-Chi was helpful. He just couldn't speak in a friendly way sometimes. "Let's go and see," said Lin Feng. He was slowly getting used to the palace. He was curious to see what advantages he had access to after climbing up the 9 groups of steps. He needed to get familiar with the surroundings first though. Lin Feng walked around and inspected the palace. The pressure made him feel as heavy as a mountain and his steps even made some loud bumping sounds. He turned around and looked at Xiong-Chi. Xiong-Chi looked relaxed, it didn't seem difficult at all for him. How did he do that? Was he using the force of the earth and the sky to manage it? Maybe he was condensing it in his paws. Very quickly, Lin Feng managed to feel more relaxed as Xiong-Chi was walking next to him. They both walked next to each other as some fog emerged. It felt like a holy place, a fairyland. There was even more beauty than one should take in at that moment. There were lofty towers of qi in the mist. What was it? What an awesome place. It's an emperor's territory, thought Xiong-Chi suddenly. He looked excited. "Let's go and see," said Lin Feng. Xiong-Chi followed him, but then stopped and lied down nonchalantly. He seemed like he was waiting for something. At that moment, Lin Feng suddenly sensed something. The mist under his feet suddenly rose up and surrounded him. Very quickly, he was wrapped in a mysterious qi. In front of him, a silhouette appeared. It was exactly the same as him. He was staring at a mirror. It couldn't be him though, but it looked exactly the same. It was the first time Lin Feng saw himself so clearly. "It's an illusion." Lin Feng immediately understood that it was an illusion. That silhouette was another Lin Feng. I wouldn't have thought that I'd need to face a copy of myself in here. I wonder if I'm strong in the illusion, thought Lin Feng walking forwards. He condensed force in his feet, then he condensed strength and released it towards the illusion. However, the illusion didn't move at all. It looked like a statue. Boom! Lin Feng attacked the illusion again. Qi and force started flowing furiously in the air. The illusion remained motionless. Lin Feng then punched the air in the direction of the mirror. He was captivated by this mystery. A terrifyingly oppressive strength crashed onto him. He could barely breathe from it. Boom! The same sound spread in the air. It was the same energies as those contained in Lin Feng's punch. When Lin Feng punched the mirror punched him too. Boom boom, when Lin Feng attacked the mirror, it attacked him too, and it was very painful. His blood was boiling. How strong! Lin Feng and his reflection in the mirror were seemingly fighting. The illusion in the mirror didn't wait for Lin Feng to catch his breath and continued attacking him. Punches were now assaulting him endlessly. Boom boom boom. Lin Feng continued being punched. His head was sore and he coughed up blood. He was propelled to the ground where he felt like he was going to be crushed by those attacks. How fucking strong, swore Lin Feng. He turned around and looked at Xiong Qi lying on the ground. He knows what illusion that is, thought Lin Feng. Little boy, cherish this opportunity. Those holy marks are mysterious and contain an explosive force which will help you on the path of cultivation. That mirror will teach you even more about the force of the earth and sky. Why are you not satisfied? Someday, you'll be able to use and condense the force of the earth and sky even better. When that time comes, you'll easily be able to defeat the person you are now, said Xiong Qi nonchalantly. Lin Feng was surprised but happy. Lin Feng stood up and shook his head, he was more determined than ever. Chapter 1079, Wise Men Look Like Fools. Lin Feng walked towards the mirror again. No matter what he did, his mirror attacked him back with the same strength. Poor Lin Feng, he didn't feel like being attacked again. His entire body was sore. Continue. Someday, you'll defeat the person you are now, said Xiong Qi with a smile yet not a smile. Was he gloating over Lin Feng's misfortune again? Lin Feng looked at him and said, Emperor, don't you want to come and try? Xiong Qi looked at him and said, it's such an easy technique, I don't need to practice that kind of skill. I already understand and control that kind of strength. Why would I need to study them? Who knows? You're bragging but haven't shown anything, said Lin Feng in a disdainful way. Xiong Qi looked furious, you understand nothing on the path. Don't think that you understand holy marks properly. I'm telling you, you don't understand holy marks right now, otherwise, you'd kill any Tian level cultivator. You just understand rudimentary holy marks, they're almost illusionary and not real at all. What path? Asked Lin Feng. A flower in the world, a thought, a step, the path englobes all things of creation. If you understand the path, you can create holy weapons using holy marks. The force of the earth and sky are a part of the path, said Xiong Qi raising his head. Then, he looked at Lin Feng in a disdainful way and said, telling you those things is useless to you right now, you can't understand. Lin Feng grinded his teeth. Xiong Qi was an emperor, so he already understood those things, but Lin Feng didn't. So what does the natural strength of the earth and sky have to do with the path? Asked Lin Feng. You don't understand the earth and sky. If you understood how to control the force of the earth and the sky properly, you'll understand the path, said Xiong Qi disdainfully. He sounded like a Buddha, but in that animal body, he looked comical. What you mean to say is that I first need to understand how to control the force of the earth and sky and then I'll understand the path of strength? Asked Lin Feng. Indeed. Do you understand what cultivation means? No, I don't, replied Lin Feng without hesitation. I see, a funny one, sighed Xiong Qi. He lied down again and closed his eyes. Lin Feng grinded his teeth. I have some abstruse crystals, I can give you some, said Lin Feng, throwing a ring at Xiongqi. Xiongqi's eyes twinkled. He grabbed the ring, inspected it and whispered, "The path of cultivation is priceless, each world is worth 1,000 pieces of gold," said Xiongqi. Then, he stopped talking and closed his eyes again. What did Xiongqi want to do with so many abstruse crystals anyways? Xiongqi's level hadn't changed. Lin Feng was sure that he was hiding his real cultivation level. He couldn't possibly stop there. "You bastard," said Lin Feng and threw another ring. Xiongqi inspected it and said, "In the continent of the 9 clouds, a long time ago, people wouldn't dare bully me. On the path of cultivation, you must be perseverant and true to yourself. You can separate those two words. Path and cultivation. Path means everything that belongs to the earth and the sky, like a path on which you walk. The earth and the sky are natural things which englobe the 10,000 things of creation. You can use those things to release terrifying strength. Concerning cultivation, cultivation is a school, cultivation is composed of rules and principles. People who apply to those rules and principles are cultivators. Real cultivators can break holes in the atmosphere, they can reincarnate, they can release abstruse energies, they understand all the rudimentary aspects of the path. Therefore, we have to keep learning new principles, understand the earth and the sky in more detail, we have to be one with the earth and the sky. Lin Feng remained silent. He had never really asked himself what the concept, the path of cultivation, meant. Every real cultivator wanted to understand nature and its secrets. In the palace where you live now, there isn't only the strength of force, there's also the force of the path. It's unfathomable, enigmatic, mysterious. An emperor built it for you, said Xiongqi. As Mu Chen had said. I used to be an incredible hero back then. How sad. What a tragedy, sighed Xiongqi, looking at the sky in a serious way. Lin Feng was making him sad with those questions. It reminded him of the past. I gave you so many abstruse crystals and you gave me absolutely no information, said Lin Feng, grinding his teeth. He walked towards the illusion again. If he didn't manage to pass that test, he wouldn't be able to make it to the next palace. He was attacked by the mirror many times again, and then he gave up. He went back to the middle of the palace. Lin Feng decided to sense those oppressive energies. It was painful, but he grinded his teeth and endured it. He had ranked first and had obtained the best palace. If he didn't study those energies, sooner or later, someone would catch up to him and replace him. There were many people in lower levels. They were determined to become stronger and replace the cultivators at the higher levels. Where he was, the risk to see someone catch up and replace him was low. But he couldn't eliminate that opportunity. Even without that risk, he had to become stronger anyways. He had to motivate himself. After half a month, Lin Feng's attacks against the mirror were even more powerful. His attack had become so powerful that he could destroy people at even higher cultivation levels than him. Even with that, it wasn't enough. He still couldn't win against the illusion. However, he didn't feel dispirited anymore, he was just feeling determined. Emperor, my attacks are quite powerful. Even though my attacks are powerful, other people can have such powerful attacks by using special skills. Is understanding the force of the earth and sky the only way to understand the path? Asked Lin Feng to Xiongqi. You're as stupid as a pig, said Xiongqi. He sighed and said, how can you be so stupid? If you can attract the force of the earth and sky and use it for your own attacks, if you condense twice the force you usually use and it doesn't kill your opponent, what about thrice force? And 4 times? What I don't understand is how you can ask such stupid questions. I told you to study the force of the earth and sky, not to learn how to make your attacks more powerful like a brute. So what if you use force? If your special attacks are extremely powerful, what will happen if you mix them with force? Really strong cultivators can attack once and destroy their enemies in the world, but their attacks are not brutal, they are subtle. Lin Feng had been attacked by the illusion for half a month and couldn't think clearly anymore. I was a hero in the past and now I end up teaching an idiot. What a tragedy, sighed Qiong-Chi. He then turned around and lied down away. Actually, Qiong-Chi was laughing on the inside. Lin Feng wasn't stupid, he was just trying to make him think and analyze his surroundings. Lin Feng was so talented, he had to be shaken a bit. He couldn't do everything for him. Chapter 1080, Just a Punch. Still inside the palace, Lin Feng sat down cross-legged. The force was still there, however, Lin Feng felt more relaxed than before. Of course, it was still oppressive, but Lin Feng understood it a lot better and on top of that, he was getting used to it. Pure Sun Qi revolved around him and Lin Feng absorbed that force. The palace was filled with pure Qi. Even without using stones, he could still absorb plenty of pure Qi. Therefore, he could practice cultivation calmly in there. Lin Feng was determined to become stronger. At that moment, inside the palace, some marks appeared and revolved in the palace. Bzzz. The energies exploded in the palace and surrounded Lin Feng. He was bathing in dazzling lights. He was getting familiar with the earth and sky, as if he was fusing together with it. It was a natural strength. Qiong-Chi opened his eyes and looked at Lin Feng. Interesting. His eyes were twinkling as he sat down respectfully. Since he had turned into an animal, he hadn't been that close to the strength of the path. Tiantai's emperors seemed like they attached a lot of importance to the path. They hoped their best cultivators could learn about it as soon as possible. Every emperor attached importance to the path. Tiantai's emperors were no different. The sun became even more dazzling. Lin Feng was sitting and bathing in those golden lights. The celestial qi of the palace became even thicker and richer, and definitely more dazzling. That was the energy of the 10,000 things of creation, trees, flowers, water. Water started flowing around Lin Feng. It seemed like an illusion. Lin Feng was sitting motionless as he looked calm and serene. Qiong-Chi looked at him respectfully. It was as if there was nobody around Lin Feng. It was like the Big Bang, the creation of the universe. The fire became even more intense and Lin Feng felt hot. Soon the fire illuminated the room. Lin Feng lost the notion of time as he was already holding his Tianxian stone. It was glowing now as strange lights and energies flowed in Lin Feng's body. He was trying to understand them. He attracted them to his brain, into his spirit. He was in his void world which looked like the outside world, but more distinct, clearer. His spirit was absorbing the strength of the earth and sky. I'm absorbing the earth and sky, thought Lin Feng. He was more and more surprised by his spirit. It was extraordinary. He was wondering how he had obtained such an extraordinary spirit. He could use it to memorize holy marks, skills, now he could use it to focus the strength of the path, the earth and the sky. Lin Feng didn't stop practicing cultivation. It felt so comfortable to study there after all. The pure qi he absorbed was also incredibly fresh, so rich and thick. His fire became stronger. Everything was so distinct in his brain. After 3 more days, Lin Feng's fire slowly disappeared. The dazzling lights around him faded and the atmosphere became calm again. The illusion gradually disappeared. There were only fading lights in the palace, like the mysterious intent of the path. What a strange palace, thought Lin Feng. It contained an explosive force. Lin Feng practiced 3 days and reached the top of the 4th Tian Qi layer, one more step and he'd break through to the 5th Tian Qi layer. Lin Feng turned around and looked at Qiong-Chi. Qiong-Chi said nothing. He had sensed the strength of the path and that was great. Besides, he couldn't hide his cultivation level anymore either. Level 5 Tian level beast, he hid his cultivation level. I knew it, thought Lin Feng. Xiong-Chi had become stronger than him earlier. Each time he became stronger, he didn't mind staying next to Lin Feng and doing nothing. Xiong-Chi sensed something, he opened his eyes and looked at Lin Feng. "You inspected my cultivation level." "You lied to me," said Lin Feng. Xiong-Chi looked at Lin Feng in a disdainful way and said, "You were just too slow." Slow. Lin Feng was speechless. After having broken through to the Tian-Chi layer, he had progressed so fast. He wasn't slow at all. Lin Feng walked into the palace and looked at the illusion in the mirror again. Lin Feng was determined this time. He had practiced hard for 3 days and now he could use the force of the earth and sky to a higher degree. He tried to attack the mirror again, but it was always the same. He continued for half a month and continued becoming stronger. Lin Feng believed that he needed to go out and face dangerous situations to break through to the 5th Tian-Chi layer. The path of cultivation was mysterious and there weren't any fixed rule. Cultivators had to understand cultivation to become stronger. Lin Feng went down the stairs and stopped on the 4th group of steps. He saw a big road and there were many people residing there. Qiu Yuxian, Lin Ruotian, and so on. For them, it was the same, they also had to face illusions with their own self inside. "Lin Feng," said Qiu Yuxian when she saw Lin Feng. She suddenly looked relaxed and smiled at him. She said, in a gentle way, "When you practice cultivation, you forget everything, you haven't come in a month." "I missed you, that's why I came now," said Lin Feng smiling. Qiu Yuxian rolled her eyes and said, "You're such a flirt." "Lin Feng, brother, you want to come and try," said Lin Ruotian. He was also getting attacked by the mirror. Even though Lin Feng had refused to join the Lin clan, Lin Ruotian still considered Lin Feng a close friend. That illusion is so annoying. The emperors want us to understand how they created those illusions. "We can't pass this test," said Qiu Yuxian. She was obviously annoyed. She came from a rich and powerful family so she understood what that test consisted of. Lin Feng raised his head and said, "It seems like analytical and understanding skills are the most important thing for the emperors. Once we pass those tests, we can join them on the 10th floor. "Maybe," whispered Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng walked towards the illusion, his reflection appeared, motionless. Lin Feng stepped forwards, the earth and sky emitted a bumping sound. Some strength was flowing into Lin Feng's hand. He punched the illusion and a sound spread in the air. Natural strength immediately flowed into his body. Gotcha! Lin Feng's reflection shook, force flowed in the reflection and it disappeared, it was destroyed. Qiu Yuxian and Lin Ruotian were completely astonished. They couldn't destroy their reflections and Lin Feng could destroy his with only one punch. Chapter 1081, Celestial Place of the Alchemists. "No wonder you ranked first." "I admire you, brother," said Lin Ruotian smiling. Lin Feng was really gifted. A young man in purple clothes looked at Lin Feng, he was amazed too. "I'm convinced you'll defeat the illusion as well, it's only a matter of time," replied Lin Feng. The illusion of the 9th group of steps was terrifyingly strong, on the 4th group of steps, it was a lot easier to defeat. Qiu Yuxian looked at Lin Feng smiling in a resplendent way. She hadn't seen Lin Feng in a month and he was surprising her once again. He could defeat the illusion easily. How strong would he be a year later? But many people also guessed that Lin Feng defeated the illusion easily because he had obtained something on the 9th floor. They couldn't wait to go and see for themselves. The young man in purple clothes immediately tried to make it to the 5th floor. A terrifying strength oppressed him, he shouted furiously, his clothes and hair fluttered in the wind. It looked painful. He released energies as the atmosphere was distorted. Someone made it up, thought the crowd. Many people had already managed to make it to a floor higher. One person had managed to climb 2 more floors. They were wondering how the ranking list had changed. Lin Feng didn't know about that because he had stayed on the highest floor. Everybody watched him and felt like going up too. I should try too, thought Lin Ruotian. Then, he started walking up the stairs. He breathed in deeply and started walking up the 5th floor. Ah! Lin Ruotian shouted furiously when he sensed the oppressive energies. His blood was boiling. He released energies to counter those oppressive forces. He also tried to condense force and he managed to go up the 5th floor. He did it too. In one day, 2 people made it to the 5th floor. Meng Ba had sensed that people were coming to the 5th floor, so he tried to make it up to the 6th floor, but failed. He still wasn't strong enough. They're all going up, thought Lin Feng. Nobody had given up. Many people wanted to become the emperor's direct disciples and were ready to face all the risks for that. I need to go, said Lin Feng to Chiu Yuxian. He hadn't forgotten about his friends on the island of the 9 dragons. He had to go and see them still. I'm coming with you, whispered Chiu Yuxian. There's no need. You need to stay here and practice cultivation. I need to do something, so I'll come back soon. Alright, nodded Chiu Yuxian. Lin Feng went down the stairs. Lin Feng, said someone at that moment. It was Mu Chen. Where are you going, Lin Feng? Brother, I'm going to the island of the 9 dragons, said Lin Feng honestly. Alright, I'll put its location in your memories. Come back quickly, said Mu Chen nodding. Lin Feng was happy. He wouldn't need to find the way himself. Mu Chen gave him a talisman. Lin Feng inspected it and he directly knew where the island of the 9 dragons was. As expected, it's as big as a city, thought Lin Feng. He was worried for Yu and the others. The island of the 9 dragons was terrifying and there were many strong cultivators there. They scared people crossing the Huang Sea. They would do anything they wanted. Even the Yang clan was scared of them. Pirates were always hunting treasures to trade with. You have a boat and the 8 dragon chance, so going to the island of the 9 dragons shouldn't be a problem. Come back quickly though. Something very important will be happening in Ba Huang province soon. It will be a good opportunity for you. Don't miss it, said Mu Chen as if he were worried. Something was going to happen in Ba Huang province and it would be beneficial for Lin Feng too. Brother, I have another question, said Lin Feng. He had wanted to ask that question for a while. When it's just the 2 of us, you needn't worry, you can ask me anything, said Mu Chen in a gentle way. Lin Feng was touched. He could talk about anything with Mu Chen and Ho Qin Lin. I have a friend who is a beast. When she was turning into a human being, she used forbidden strength and permanently turned back into an animal. How can I help her recover her human form? Asked Lin Feng. Mu Chen had a vast knowledge, he probably knew about those things. Your friend didn't take care of herself. When animals turn into human beings, they have to be careful and can't use restricted strength. I don't know to which extent she used her strength and how far her transformation had advanced. If she was an ordinary animal and used all her strength, turning back into a human being should be fine with some Tian-level medicine. However, if she is an extraordinary Tian-level beast and used a lot of strength, well, it will be difficult. You will need an incredible cultivator to help her, or you will need holy medicine, explained Mu Chen. Lin Feng remembered the cat back then which had transformed into a cat and had used all his strength. A while after, he had turned back into a human being. Meng Qing was different, she was an incredibly strong cultivator so recovering was more difficult. Damn the bastards who had attacked her. Lin Feng had to wait. He would become stronger, go back to Ganyu and annihilate the East Sea Dragon Palace and Jade Heaven. What can I do, more precisely, if she was a really strong animal, said Lin Feng seriously. There are 2 solutions, said Mu Chen pointing at the flight of stairs. Go to the 10th floor, our teachers will help you. Lin Feng had to understand the path before that. And for that he would need time. What about the second solution? asked Lin Feng. The second solution is to find the celestial place of the alchemists. It is a holy place for alchemists who concoct pills. There will be holy medicines there. However, you'll have to find a way to find the medicine there then, said Mu Chen smiling. Two solutions, none of which were easy. Of course, there was a third solution too. Lin Feng could go and look for the ingredients himself, however, that was too dangerous. That was why Mu Chen didn't tell Lin Feng about it. Where is the celestial place of the alchemists? Asked Lin Feng. The leader of the place is an emperor. That place is a bit like Tiantai, said Mu Chen smiling. Lin Feng had to go to a terrifying place to obtain holy medicine. Both solutions were too difficult. What could he do? I heard that the celestial place of the alchemist's holy woman was going to appear, sighed Mu Chen, suddenly smiling at Lin Feng. The celestial place of the alchemists' leaders have always been women. The holy woman might be the next empress there. If she agrees to give it to you, then it won't be a problem. Lin Feng looked at Mu Chen and had the sensation Mu Chen's smile was a bit sly. Chapter 1082, Cruel Methods. There were waves of desolate qi in the Huang Sea. This time, he wasn't affected by the desolate qi though. He wasn't scared at all. Now, he could bathe in the Huang Sea like most of the strong cultivators. As long as his holy celestial qi was strong enough, he could absorb as much desolate qi as he wished. Lin Feng didn't choose to use the Yang clan's boat immediately because if he met strong cultivators in the middle of the sea, it could be dangerous. He should only use it in case of danger. There were many boats going to the island of the 9 dragons at that time. That proved that it was a popular destination, especially for strong cultivators. Lin Feng decided to take a beautiful boat which could accommodate up to 1,000 people. Lin Feng was lucky this time. There were many people on the boat so they could leave almost immediately. The boat left, surrounded by abstruse energies. Desolate qi was rolling in waves. "Wait," shouted someone at that moment. The crowd was surprised. There were 2 old men, 2 Zoom cultivators. "Open the abstruse energy curtain, we'll give you twice as much in abstruse crystals," said the old men. The captain nodded. He didn't want to offend them. "Everybody, please resist the desolate qi for a second." Nobody refused. The desolate qi couldn't affect them if it was only for a second. The captain opened the protective curtain. Everybody continued talking. Everybody was talking about Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process and about the conflict between them and Tianlong Divine Castle. A month has passed since the graduation ceremony. "I wonder how strong the new imperial cultivation disciples have become," said someone. "Hee, right. Especially the disciples from the rich and prestigious families of the northern part of Ba Huang province. I wouldn't have thought that Xian Yuan would be eliminated though. What a tragedy. The great ape emperor's grandson chased him. Hee, you don't understand. Xian Yuan is lucky enough. Yuan Fei is insane. Even Ho Qin Lin respects him. He's lucky to be alive. The worst has been for the Yang clan. The siblings haven't become imperial cultivation disciples because Lin Feng eliminated them. How humiliating. Everybody will make fun of them now." "Shush," said someone to them. Maybe there were some members of the Yang clan on the boat. They sensed some cold qi. "What are you afraid of? The Yang clan has their own boats, they wouldn't be here. Xian Yuan hasn't ranked first so he couldn't ask for the girl's hand. What a pity for him. Yang Ziyi is good looking and her blood is good. If I could have sex with her, even I'd be happy," said that person laughing loudly. Everybody started laughing loudly too. Many men thought about that, but nobody dared say it out loud. Lin Feng frowned. The 2 old men looked furious, even before everybody started laughing loudly. "Yang clan's members," thought Lin Feng suddenly. The 2 old men looked furious. There are idiots everywhere, but not every idiot dares act recklessly, said someone coldly, suddenly interrupting all the laughter. They looked at the old men, they wanted to attack, but didn't dare. They couldn't see how strong those two old men were, so they couldn't act recklessly. How come you shut up now? Continue talking, said the other old man coldly. He was furious but didn't attack. Mister, are you from the Yang clan? Asked someone. The two old men didn't reply, they just looked at the crowd coldly. People started feeling uncomfortable. They are wasting time on purpose, thought Lin Feng. He looked at the captain and said using telepathy, Mister, if anything happens, open the curtain, otherwise, we will all die here. The captain looked at Lin Feng and frowned. He said to him, using telepathy, what do you mean? Those two old men are from the Yang clan and came here because of me, they want to kill me. Therefore, they're waiting for us to be far away in the middle of the Huang Sea. They don't want other people to know about my death, so they will kill everyone, said Lin Feng. Lin Feng sounded honest, so the captain believed him. They would have killed him before otherwise. Bzzz, the boat suddenly stopped. The crowd was surprised. What's going on? Why did we stop? The crowd was wondering. We have a problem with the boat. Sorry, I'll give everyone half of their abstruse crystals back, said the captain smiling. However, at that moment, a cold energy invaded the boat. Continue now, said one of the old men furiously. The captain believed Lin Feng even more. Open the curtain, I'm off. They will chase me. They won't kill you, said Lin Feng using telepathy. Bzzz. When the captain heard Lin Feng, he immediately opened the curtain. The two old men were surprised. How insolent, shouted one of the old men furiously. At the same time, Lin Feng rose up in the air and a boat appeared. I'm going to chase him. You stay here and kill all of them, said the other old man and immediately started chasing Lin Feng. He had a boat too, so both of them moved at top speeds. At the same time, blood appeared on the big boat. Lin Feng was furious. How cruel. The Yang clan was too cruel. They were going to kill everyone. Nobody would ever know how those people died. Nobody knew how people died in the Huang Sea after all. Lin Feng had anticipated that kind of situation. Yang Zilan, Yang Ziyi, I'll kill you, shouted Lin Feng in and furiously. Since the Yang clan kept chasing him, he wouldn't spare them. Stop now. Do you think you're going to live? Said the old man coldly. He was getting even closer to Lin Feng. Chapter 1083, Killing a Zun Cultivator. Lin Feng couldn't die in the middle of the Huang Sea, it was only other places where he would be worried. For Lin Feng, being in the middle of the Huang Sea was good. For the old man, chasing Lin Feng in the middle of the Huang Sea was the worst decision he could have made. Lin Feng didn't stop and continued flying. His opponent wanted to kill him far from everything else. That's fine, Lin Feng could go even farther. We'll see if you cry when you're in your coffin, said the old man when he saw Lin Feng continued moving. He said coldly, you can't imagine how many options there are in the world. You chose the wrong path. A flag appeared in his hand. It contained holy marks and restriction strength. Stop, shouted the old man taking out the flag. In a flash, the flag appeared next to Lin Feng's boat. Bzzz, bzzz. The flag twinkled as there was a strange strength inside. Lin Feng couldn't get any further away. You're stuck in an empty space now, said the old man staring at Lin Feng coldly. A holy weapon, said Lin Feng coldly. That was a holy weapon, that's why it could seal the boat. The Yang clan is so majestic. Lin Feng slowly turned around and stared at the old man, two strong Zun cultivators after me, holy weapons, incredible. You really think I'm that strong? They even wanted to kill everyone on the big boat because they didn't want Tiantai knowing they killed Lin Feng. They had thought everything through on how to kill Lin Feng. I told you, you understand nothing. You might be gifted, but you're going to die, said the old man with a cold smile. To him, Lin Feng was already dead. Apart from Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi, aren't there other people who participated? Asked Lin Feng. No need to talk to you anymore. You're going to die after all. You humiliated Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi, but the worst part is you prevented Xian Yuanshi from becoming an imperial cultivation disciple. You ruined the Yang clan and the Xian Yuan clan's plans. Do you think that the Yang clan will let you off? Said the old man. The Yang clan and the Xian Yuan clan wanted to join hands and become stronger, but Lin Feng had ruined their plans. I see, said Lin Feng smiling. It was an honest smile. Unfortunately, you won't kill me. Demonic Qi appeared. He was in great danger, so he had no choice but to unsheath his demonic sword. The old man frowned. He looked at the demon sword and was surprised. Demon seal stone. Demon holy weapon. The old man was surprised. Demon clouds rose up in the air and desolate Qi dashed to the skies. You have such a great weapon, I'll take it from you when you die, said the old man. He looked greedy. Lin Feng had to use his demon sword with his demon seal stones. Otherwise, the demon sword would have polluted his soul. If the old man had such a sword, he would. Little boy, you can't control that sword. I'll take it from you instead, said the old man, throwing himself at Lin Feng. In a flash, a terrifying energy moved towards Lin Feng's demon sword. The old man wanted to take it right away. Million sword fusion, said Lin Feng. Waves of demon and sword energies rolled in the air. It also contained the force of the earth and sky. A terrifying holy weapon. I'll take that sword because you can't use it, repeated the old man. He really wanted it. Many hands appeared in the atmosphere and moved towards the sword. The hands broke apart as they approached the sword and turned into demon clouds. Stop, shouted the old man furiously, which made Lin Feng shake from head to foot. When a Zun cultivator shouted, he could barely stand straight. His blood started boiling. If it had been before, he would have died instantly. Now, his blood was a lot stronger. At the same time, demon strength flowed in his arms. The ceiling strength was about to break. Lin Feng had already fought against a Zun Qi layer in the past, but that one was a lot stronger. He had probably broken through to the third or fourth Zun Qi layer. Lin Feng shook his hand and his demonic sword streaked across the sky. He condensed terrifying sword energies. Holy sword marks, ridiculous, said the old man mockingly. A shadow appeared in front of him. It looked like a battle drum. Dong, a sound spread in the air as Lin Feng shook violently. Lin Feng's sword moved forwards and so did the battle drum. Its sound moved towards Lin Feng in the form of sound waves and oppressed him. I can't win, thought Lin Feng. His cultivation level was way too low. Even with the demon sword, he couldn't do much. That kind of cultivator could kill him from thousands of kilometers away. Lin Feng held his sword as more demoniac clouds appeared. It seems like Zilan underestimated you. You're not weak, said the Zun-level cultivator when he saw how strong Lin Feng's blood was. Die, shouted Lin Feng furiously. He held his sword with two hands and attacked his opponent. Do you think you can do anything against me? His drum resonated. A terrifying strength moved towards Lin Feng. His demonic energies crackled, broke and turned into ashes as that terrifying strength crashed onto Lin Feng's body. He coughed up blood and flew away. Plops. Lin Feng crashed into the water. Concerning the demon sword, it was in the sky, floating calmly. A feudal cultivator of the Tian Qi layer offended the Yang clan. Did he think he could survive? Demon holy weapon, you're mine. Lin Feng had only broken through to the fourth Tian Qi layer. He couldn't survive in the Huangxi. Even the Zune cultivator didn't dare. From now on, I'm your master, said the old man, stretching his hand towards the sword. He was smiling in a resplendent way. Lin Feng was dead, the sword didn't have a master anymore, so he could take it. Slash. However, at that moment, a terrifying strength pierced through his skin. Boom. The demon sword had surprisingly attacked him, and suddenly at that, it had pierced through his heart. He looked petrified. Demonic chi flowed throughout his body and it felt cold. His eyes looked ice cold as Lin Feng's reappeared and came out of the Huangxi. Lin Feng wasn't dead. Chapter 1084, Enchanting Girl. How's that possible? How? The Zune cultivator sensed the demon energies attacking him from the inside. A cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer could bathe in the Huangxi and didn't fear the desolate Qi. His face turned deathly pale. Die, said Lin Feng in an ice-cold way. The desolate Qi was corroding his opponent's body. Arg! Why? Shouted the Zune cultivator furiously. Lin Feng suddenly sensed a terrifying energy attacking him which caused his blood to boil. He coughed up blood and was propelled back into the Huangxi. The Zune cultivator could make his blood boil. Even with the desolate Qi, the Zune cultivator was injured and didn't die. However, he was injured. He had an internal hemorrhage because the sword attack had been too sudden. The Zune cultivator was also coughing blood. He was still holding the demon sword as he slowly raised it. Bzzz. Another strength came out of the Huangxi and it was dazzling. The Zune cultivator wanted to avoid the attack but his injuries were too serious. He couldn't avoid the dazzling sword which pierced through his sword. His eyes were wide open. A holy weapon. Another holy weapon. The old man was astonished. How could Lin Feng have so many holy weapons? His plan was ruined. He had brought Lin Feng to the middle of the Huangxi, but Lin Feng didn't fear the desolate Qi. Besides, he had a few holy weapons himself. I'll tell you why, said Lin Feng. He opened his third eye and released desolate Qi. Desolate Qi, how? The old man was speechless. He couldn't understand how Lin Feng could use desolate Qi. Even the old man could die in desolate Qi. Huge waves of desolate Qi rolled and buried him. No, shouted the old man, unwilling to die. His voice faded as he drowned. He had broken through to the 4th Zune Qi layer, so dying against a cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer was a tragedy. But, he had no say. Boom! A huge wave rolled and crashed onto Lin Feng again, making him cough up blood again. He put his Tianji sword away and used a demon seal stone to seal the demon sword again. He could almost control the demon sword now. Cough, cough, that was close, thought Lin Feng, coughing again. He felt dizzy as took the flag and smiled. He could use their holy weapons, he was injured, but it was worth it. Each battle made him progress. He would remember the Yang clan. They sent 2 Zune cultivators to assassinate him. Lin Feng would take all their boats if he could. That made him smile. After that, Lin Feng sent back onto his own boat and lied down inside. His face was still deathly pale. He had killed a Zune cultivator. After Lin Feng left, the other Zune cultivator arrived where he had fought. He had killed everyone on the big boat. Then, he had sensed the Qi and flew over. There was only a weak Qi left though. The desolate Qi of the Huangxi could absorb all Qi. They must have fought here, but where are they now? Thought the old man, frowning. His fellow was as strong as him, he had probably killed Lin Feng, but where was he now? He didn't understand. Did he go back to the Yang clan to say that we accomplished our mission? Thought the old man angrily. That was the only possibility he could figure. He turned around and got ready to head back to the Yang clan. The island of the 9 dragons had a 1,000-year history. According to legends, the leader of the island was cruel and bloodthirsty. It was an emperor who had opened the Huang Sea and settled there. Many people decided to follow him and obeyed him. There was nothing he didn't dare do. He was always hunting for treasures in the Huang Sea. The island of the 9 dragons had become even stronger. Then, they had started trading stolen items. They became richer and richer. Now, they had become a real city in the middle of the Huang Sea. The Huang Sea was their territory and they could do anything there. Apart from a few terrifyingly powerful cultivators, they dared to attack anyone. Last time, they dared attack Yang Ziyi, for them it was beneficial. If the son of the leader of the island of the 9 dragons could have sex with her, he would become a lot stronger. Around their territory, there were 9 gigantic dragon statues and those were their boats. They could accommodate up to 10,000 people on each of those boats. A young man approached them on a singular boat. He had an imposing appearance and his qi was extraordinary. That was Xian Yuan. Behind Xian Yuan, there was a young man and a young woman. If Lin Feng saw that, he would kill them right there and right then. The young man and the young girl with Xian Yuan were Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. Even though Xian Yuan didn't become an imperial cultivation disciple and hadn't proved he was strong enough to ask for Yang Ziye's hand, he still hoped his clan and their clan would be able to join hands. There were strong cultivators from the Yang clan with them as well. Last time, the pirates had almost killed Yang Ziyi, they wouldn't forget that this time. There was also a young man with a sharp qi. His clothes were purple. If Lin Feng saw him, he would think his qi was similar to Xian Yuan's. There was a girl in black clothes who looked like a celestial being. She definitely looked arousing. Her long black hair was fluttering in the wind and her eyes were dazzling. Unfortunately, she was surrounded by a strange energy and people couldn't see her clearly even though many were trying. Behind that hot girl, there was a young man in black clothes. If Lin Feng and Qiong Qi saw him, they would be surprised. It was the cultivator in black clothes they had seen in the Dragon Palace, the beast. He was protecting that hot girl. Chapter 1085, Desolate Stone. At that moment, a boat streaked across the sky and everybody was staring at it. "That's my boat," said Yang Ziyi. Xian Yuan and Yang Zilan were surprised and looked at that boat screaming, "Lin Feng! Lin Feng!" repeated the others. Lin Feng had already become famous in the north part of Ba Huang because he had climbed up 9 groups of steps and he had ranked first at Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process. Other people were surprised when they saw the boat as well. Not many people could fabricate such boats. Were those people from the Yang clan? If there was an old person in it, they couldn't do anything. If it was a young person, why not steal it? Pirates like to steal. Lin Feng knew that using that boat was risky because he wasn't strong enough. The pirates could steal the boat from him, etc. And he couldn't put on a mask. At least, he had already recovered. His boat disappeared and Lin Feng jumped onto the island of the 9 dragons. People saw him for he had nothing to hide anymore. How young and he dared come here. Besides, he doesn't fear desolate qi, thought the crowd when they saw him put his boat away even though he hadn't even arrived yet. If they had seen Lin Feng in the middle of the sea, they would have attacked him. "Lin Feng!" shouted a voice furiously. It was Xian Yuan and he wanted to kill Lin Feng. Lin Feng had asked Yuan Fei to ruin Xian Yuan's exam. He hated Lin Feng even more for that. "Die!" Xian Yuan sounded furious. He immediately threw himself at Lin Feng, punching the air and emitting buzzing sounds. "Can you kill me?" asked Lin Feng coldly. He didn't talk much and didn't run away either. Actually, he moved forwards. Dazzling lights invaded the atmosphere. Sword energies and star lights appeared as Xian Yuan's punch was immediately destroyed and the sword energies instantly oppressed him. A holy weapon, the crowd was incredulous. That guy had holy weapons. Xian Yuan punched the air in Lin Feng's direction a few times, but all his punches were destroyed. Lin Feng's Tianji sword contained star energies. Million sword fusion, die. Lin Feng attacked Xian Yuan with his sword again. Xian Yuan moved backwards quickly and punched the stars, but his punches were destroyed as well. He continued running farther away. Lin Feng's sword crashed onto the ground and a gigantic crater appeared. You want to kill me, but can you? You only have a little bit of imperial qi and think you're emperor, said Lin Feng disdainfully. Xian Yuan looked at him and said coldly, if you didn't have a holy weapon, would have killed you already. If. Ridiculous. In the illusion, during the exam, I killed you once already. If we were of the same cultivation level, I would kill you again, said Lin Feng glancing at Xian Yuan coldly. He then glanced at Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi who were coming too. But, when he saw the Zun cultivators behind them, he understood he wouldn't be able to kill them this time. You're not dead, said Yang Ziyi. She looked surprised. Lin Feng smiled in a resplendent yet strange way. The young disciples of the Yang clan are really weak. Now that you don't have boats anymore, you need elders to protect you. Especially you Yang Ziyi, you're beautiful and have a strong blood, something could happen to you easily if you come out alone at night. Lin Feng was threatening them. A cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer was threatening them in front of everybody. Many people looked at them. Yang Ziyi was furious and embarrassed. She understood what Lin Feng was doing. He was making fun of her. She had almost gotten raped last time, so now the elders had to protect her so that nobody could think about raping her. Lin Feng ranked first at Emperor Yu and Emperor Shi's recruitment process. How strong, the crowd was happy to see Lin Feng, they had heard of him already and how he despised the Yang clan. However, in public, many people feared the Yang clan. Lin Feng was acting as arrogantly as Xian Yuan though. The crowd didn't know that the Yang clan had already sent people to kill Lin Feng in secret. At that moment, the girl in the black clothes arrived too. The one in black clothes behind her said, Princess, that's Lin Feng, he ranked first at the recruitment process of the two emperors. I've seen him in the Dragon Palace. He's not afraid of desolate qi. I believe he found some treasures in the Dragon Palace even. The girl looked calm and detached, but men were easily aroused when they looked at her. The princess nodded and disappeared. Many people were surprised, they didn't feel like leaving themselves. Lin Feng smiled and looked at Xian Yuan and the Yang siblings. He looked like he wanted to make fun of them even more, which infuriated them. A cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer dared make fun of them. Xian Yuan was particularly pissed off. He was so confident in himself. Even some Zun cultivators showed him respect. Lin Feng was the first person he had ever met who had a lower cultivation level than him and despised him. Xian Yuan, brother, if we're lucky, we can get a holy weapon. You're so strong that you can easily kill him, said Yang Zilan. I'll definitely kill him, said Xian Yuan looking heroic. Don't worry, we brought enough abstruse crystals, think about the desolate stone too, said Yang Zilan coldly looking at Lin Feng. Lin Feng ignored Xian Yuan and went to the center of the island of the 9 dragons. He needed to find the man he had met last time. He would ask him about Yu. He couldn't find his friends relying solely on his own strength. The island of the 9 dragons didn't look like it was in the middle of the Huang Sea. It looked like a big city. There were even more people there than in Tianjing City. There were many strong cultivators too. He heard some people talking and it seemed like something was going to happen with a desolate stone. There were many treasures in the Huang Sea, including desolate stones, like the stone Yuan Fei had found last time. Many people from the island of the 9 dragons had gone to hunt such desolate stones. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.